Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Take a second to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and tell me in the comments, where are you watching from right now, and what time is it for you? Okay, good. Now, let's dive in. The year is 20X7, long after the Federation's last stand on Zebes. You wake up in the middle of a jarring metallic descent, your entire body already screaming. The world around you isn't just loud. It's a relentless assault of sound and fury. A high-pitched, grinding shriek, like 1,000 banshees tearing at sheet metal, pierces through your power suit's internal dampeners. You're trapped inside what feels less like an escape pod and more like a giant, uncontrolled projectile, plummeting through a narrow, winding shaft. Every twist and turn of this unforgiving tunnel sends violent, unpredictable tremors through your reinforced frame, slamming you against failing restraints that scrape and dig into your armored plating. Your visor flickers, struggling to compensate for the chaotic flashes of sparks and the sudden, disorienting strobes of emergency lights that erupt and die around you. The air inside the cockpit is thick, not with oxygen, but with the sharp, almost painful scent of burnt circuitry and an overpowering, acrid taste of ozone that coats your tongue and the back of your throat. It's like breathing pure electricity, leaving a metallic residue that you can almost feel burning your sinuses. Each jarring impact makes your teeth ache, your jaw clench involuntarily. You try to brace yourself, to anticipate the next lurch, but the descent is a blind, unpredictable fury. You feel the structural integrity of the pod itself groaning, twisting, protesting. Alarms, once distinct, now merge into a single, piercing wail, signifying critical system failure after critical system failure. Suddenly, a massive impact. Your entire suit compresses, a momentary, crushing weight pushing you deeper into the mangled seat. You feel a sickening tear, the unmistakable sensation of metal shearing, and then you're momentarily weightless, floating free for an instant before being hurled violently in a new direction. The G-forces are immense, threatening to rip you from your armor. You fight to stay conscious, every muscle in your body screaming in protest. A raw, primal struggle against the forces of nature and mechanics. Your internal diagnostics flash red, critical, failing. The external view through your visor is a blur of fire and streaking darkness, an uncontrolled re-entry, or perhaps just a violent passage through some unknown subterranean cavern. Another colossal jolt, a final, earth-shattering crunch that vibrates through every cell of your being. Then, just as abruptly as it began, the chaos ceases. A heavy, absolute silence descends, broken only by the ragged, wheezing rhythm of your own breath within the helmet. You're no longer moving. The smell of ozone still hangs heavy, now tinged with dust and the metallic scent of your own fear. You lie there, stunned, the adrenaline slowly receding, leaving behind a profound ache that permeates your entire body. Survival isn't about escaping pain, you realize. It's about enduring it, about pushing through the moment when everything tries to break you, and finding yourself on the other side. The heavy silence that followed the crash doesn't last. A new sensation slowly asserts itself, creeping past your suit's damaged environmental controls, a biting, pervasive cold that gnaws at the edges of your armored plates, seeping into your joints. It's an icy breath, a stark contrast to the superheated ozone that still stings your nostrils from the internal wreckage. Then, a low, mournful howl starts to build. Faint at first, then growing into a relentless, chilling wind that seems to vibrate through the very structure of your crippled escape pod. You push against the mangled console, the metal groaning a metallic protest against your efforts. Pain flares through your side, a dull throb that reminds you of the brutal descent, but you ignore it. Your suit's integrity alarms have finally silenced, but now another set of indicators flash amber, external environment hostile. The wind outside is now a tangible presence, a relentless force buffeting what remains of your craft. You can hear the fine particles it carries, like tiny claws scraping against the exterior, a constant, gritty whisper. With a grunt of effort, you manage to pry open a bent access panel, revealing a glimpse of the outside world. A gust of frigid, dust-laden air rushes in, swirling around your helmet, and you instinctively brace yourself against its chill. It carries a desolate scent, damp rock, ancient decay, and something mineral, almost metallic, that makes your nose wrinkle even through the filtration system. Leveraging your full weight, you force the heavily damaged emergency hatch open, the sound of groaning metal a final, defiant cry. You step out onto what feels like a boundless, broken landscape. Your heavy boots immediately sink slightly, crunching on a fine, abrasive dust that grinds underfoot with every movement. It's not soft earth. It's a mixture of volcanic ash, pulverized rock, and countless fragments of what might once have been vibrant structures, now reduced to gritty memory. Each step sends a cloud of this dark, gritty powder swirling around your ankles, kicked up by the relentless wind. You stand there for a moment, letting the full force of the gale hit you. It pulls at your visor, tugs at your shoulders, an invisible hand trying to push you back, to keep you from venturing further. The wind isn't just cold, it feels ancient, carrying with it the silent, untold stories of this desolate place. You scan the horizon, a seemingly endless expanse of fractured plateaus and shadowy canyons under a sky that hangs in a perpetual twilight, indifferent and vast. This isn't just a place to survive. It's a place that demands you adapt, instantly, to its unforgiving, elemental welcome. There's a certain strange clarity that comes with feeling so small, so exposed, beneath such an immense, empty sky, as you slip through the damp, narrow opening, leaving the abrasive cold of Criteria far behind. A profoundly different world immediately floods your senses. The air here doesn't just change, it thickens, becoming a humid, almost palpable presence that wraps around your power suit, clinging to every joint. It's heavy with an incredibly complex aroma, a cloying, sugary sweetness, like countless exotic fruits fermenting, intertwined with the rich, earthy scent of damp, decaying vegetation, and an unsettling, faintly metallic undercurrent. You feel the moisture immediately, a fine, warm mist condensing on your visor's internal surface, blurring the edges of the cavern's dim, organic contours. Every filtered breath you draw is saturated with this potent, alien perfume, a startling contrast to the barren, wind-scoured dust you just endured. The ground beneath your heavy boots is no longer jagged rock, but a soft, surprisingly resilient surface. It yields with a spongy give under your weight, covered in a carpet of luminous, fleshy mosses that pulse with an inner, greenish-yellow light. These growths shed tiny viscous droplets of water that stick to your armor, making the air feel even denser. The cavern walls themselves are alive, draped in thick, ropey vines and bulbous, glistening fungi that ooze a slow, sticky sap, their surfaces strangely warm to the touch if you brush against them. You can almost taste the overwhelming humidity, a thick, earthy sweetness that coats your tongue. Then, the sounds begin to assert themselves. Not as distinct noises, but as a pervasive, continuous ambient hum of hidden activity. A constant, hushed rustle permeates the heavy air, the soft friction of unseen leaves, the quiet, quick scuttle of countless minuscule creatures moving through dense, tangled foliage just beyond the reach of your internal lights. You hear tiny, high-pitched chirps and clicks, echoing from the labyrinthine depths, small, rapid movements that make the shadows seem to writhe. It's a living symphony, a continuous, almost claustrophobic whisper that raises the fine hairs on your neck, a subtle shiver working its way down your spine. Your suit's internal sensors struggle to pinpoint individual sources. The life here too interwoven, too multitudinous, too much a part of the very fabric of this teeming subterranean jungle. You extend an armored hand, your gloved fingers brushing against a thick, fleshy stalk that immediately retracts with a barely audible sucking sound, leaving a cool, slightly viscous residue on your synthetic material. The sensation is utterly alien, yet undeniably vital, pulsating with unseen energy. This entire environment vibrates with a potent organic force, starkly different from the desolate silence of the surface. It's a dense, suffocating embrace of life, a constant, unavoidable reminder that even in the deepest, most hidden recesses of this world, existence finds a way to not just survive, but to profoundly thrive, often unseen, often unheard, until you are entirely immersed within its complex, breathing rhythm. It forces you to confront how much goes on around us, every single second, completely hidden from our immediate perception, yet constantly shaping and enriching the very world we confidently believe we understand. As you push deeper into the heart of Brinstar, the soft, pervasive green glow from the mosses begins to yield, slowly giving way to something far more intense, more visceral. It starts subtly, a faint warmth in the visual spectrum of your visor, then quickly escalates. A rich, deep, crimson light washes over everything, emanating from enormous, fleshy growths that cling to the cavern walls and ceiling. These aren't just plants. They're like living organs, immense, bulbous structures that throb with a slow, hypnotic rhythm, casting long, undulating shadows that stretch and recede with each pulse of light. The entire cavern takes on a blood-red hue, making the air feel even thicker, more alive, almost like you're inside a colossal, beating heart. The warmth that emanates from these pulsating crimson flora is palpable, a humid embrace that feels almost suffocating after the cool, damp air of the outer caverns. You raise your hand, your armored fingers brushing against one of the giant, crimson sacs. It feels taut, surprisingly smooth, and slightly slick to the touch, like warm, damp skin, yet completely alien. A faint, musky scent, distinct from the sweet rot, now adds to the air. A hint of iron, like old blood mixed with damp earth, subtle but unsettling. Navigating this new, vividly colored terrain becomes a challenge of its own. Thick, segmented vines, unnaturally bright, almost glowing with a faint, internal luminescence, crisscross your path like a tangled, living net. They pulse with a softer, diffused red light, tracing glowing paths through the deeper shadows. When you try to push them aside with your arm cannon, you immediately feel it, a persistent, sticky residue that clings to your power suit. It's not just wet. It's a tenacious, almost syrupy adhesion that makes the simple act of moving forward a deliberate, physical effort. Each time you break free, you hear a faint, almost rubbery, schloop sound, and a shimmering, faintly glowing goo is left behind on your armor. You can feel the stickiness even through your gloves, a subtle drag on your movements, a constant, low-level irritation. It feels like the air itself is trying to hold you back, to entangle you in this vibrant, throbbing ecosystem. You have to actively peel yourself away from larger clusters of these luminescent vines, their sticky tendrils reluctantly letting go with a final, wet cling. The ground here is even softer, more yielding, cushioned by countless layers of decaying crimson flora, making each step a silent plunge into the spongy, living floor. It's beautiful, in a horrifying alien way, this ecosystem of red light and clinging life, a constant reminder that even in the most intense beauty, there can be a hidden, persistent struggle. Sometimes, the most captivating places are also the most reluctant to let you go. The pervasive, syrupy warmth of Brinstar eventually gives way as you navigate a winding, narrow passage to a stark, chilling shift. Suddenly, the air becomes cooler, heavier, laden with a palpable dampness that seeps into your power suit's joints, making your movements feel slightly stiffer. The vibrant crimson glow fades, swallowed by an encroaching, absolute darkness, broken only by the focused beam of your helmet light. And then you hear it. The insistent, irregular rhythm of dripping water. Drip, drip, drip. Not just one, but a complex symphony of countless drops, echoing in the vast, unseen chamber around you. Some are sharp, singular pings against a shallow pool, others a soft, sustained patter against a mossy surface. The sounds rebound off invisible walls, creating a disorienting acoustic tapestry where you can't quite tell how far away anything is, or how large the space truly is. You feel the occasional splash of icy water from above, tiny cold shock waves hitting your visor, running down the slick surface. The ground beneath your boots is no longer spongy. It's cold, uneven stone, perpetually wet. Each step a careful negotiation to avoid slipping on the treacherous, slick surface. The air itself carries a faint, mineral smell, like wet rock and distant, stagnant water. A stark, clean contrast to the organic perfumes you just left behind. As you move deeper, pushing through the oppressive gloom, the drips continue, a constant, unsettling companion. Then, a new sound enters the fray, subtle at first, a low thrumming that vibrates through the very bedrock beneath your feet. It's a deep resonance, a sensation more than a sound, that crawls up from the earth, rattling your teeth, making the very air around you feel heavy and pregnant with unseen energy. Your suit's internal dampeners barely register it, but your body does. Then it comes, a low guttural roar, immense and ancient, erupting from somewhere deep within the cavern. It isn't a direct sound. It's a reverberation, an undulating wave of pure force that washes over you, echoing off the countless wet surfaces, bouncing back and forth until it becomes a formless, all-encompassing growl. It makes the fine hairs on your arms stand on end, a primal alarm blaring through your system. The roar fades, leaving a prolonged, shimmering aftershock, a tension in the silence that follows, making the lonely sound of the drips feel suddenly fragile and vulnerable. You tense, arm cannon ready, scanning the impenetrable darkness, knowing that something immense, something powerful, lies hidden. Its very breath enough to shake the foundations of this alien world. In such profound darkness, sound isn't just information. It's a living, breathing entity, a constant, unsettling reminder of the unseen forces that move just beyond the edge of your perception. The echoes of the distant roar still vibrate in the cool, damp air as you push onward, the faint glint of your helmet light barely cutting through the oppressive gloom. The cavern, initially vast and echoing, begins to narrow dramatically. The walls close in, becoming cold, unforgiving surfaces that seem to press in on you from all sides. You have to turn sideways in places, shuffling through gaps barely wider than your armored frame, feeling the rough, unyielding rock scrape against your power suit. It's an immediate physical constriction, a profound sense of being swallowed by the earth itself. The air thickens, becoming stagnant and heavy, laden with the faint, metallic tang of minerals, and an odd, dusty dryness, despite the surrounding dampness. Your breathing feels a little heavier within your helmet, the recycled air suddenly less refreshing. You reach out, your gloved hand brushing against the cavern wall, and the sensation is jarringly distinct, rough, cold, and incredibly hard. It feels like an ancient, adamantine material, its surface pockmarked with eons of erosion, yet still utterly unyielding. As you scrape past, the sound is a harsh, grating whisper of synthetic plating against bare, crystalline rock, a high-pitched, resonant friction that makes your teeth ache, announcing your passage in the suffocating silence. The floor beneath your boots also shifts, losing its slickness for a drier, coarser texture. Each step now sends a low, grinding sound reverberating through the narrow passages, a constant, abrasive feedback from the unyielding ground. You can feel the minute vibrations of the rock against your armor as you carefully navigate, your weight shifting, testing for secure footing on the uneven terrain. The labyrinthine passages twist and turn without warning, forcing you to constantly reorient yourself, relying on the subtle resistance of the walls and floor, the changing quality of the air, and the way your own movements sound against the hard surfaces to guide you. It's a primal challenge, a negotiation with the very rock of the planet. You squeeze through a particularly tight crevice, feeling the cold, unyielding stone press against your chest and back, the rough edges digging into your armored joints. For a fleeting moment, you feel truly trapped, a deep, claustrophobic anxiety rising, threatening to overwhelm. But then you push through. The passage opens just enough for you to regain full movement, and the grinding scrape of adamantine against your suit continues, a rhythmic, grating reminder of the planet's immense, silent power. In these tight confines, the world isn't just observed, it's physically felt, its raw, unyielding nature pressing in on you from every direction, demanding respect, and perhaps a deeper understanding of your own resilience. You're still picking your way through the tight, unforgiving passages, the cold, adamantine walls pressing in with their persistent, grating texture. One moment, it's just the damp, silent gloom, the slow scrape of your boots on the gritty floor. The next, a searing, blood-red line of light snaps into existence, slicing through the oppressive darkness just inches from your helmet, illuminating a brief, violent arc across the jagged rock face, before vanishing as quickly as it appeared. Your suit's threat detection immediately shrieks an urgent, high-pitched alert in your ear, a sudden, jarring spike in the quiet that pulls you out of your careful navigation. This isn't an environmental hazard. It's a direct, calculated hunt. Before you can even fully process the sudden shift, another red beam, thicker and more focused, locks onto your chest plate. You feel the faint, almost imperceptible hum of energy building, a low, ominous whine that vibrates through your armor, a sound that promises immediate, violent impact. There's no time to think, only react. You instinctively drop, your knees bending, muscles coiling, then rolling into a tight ball, your power suit scraping painfully against the rough floor as a brilliant, focused blast of crimson energy erupts precisely where you were standing an instant before. The sheer concussive force of the explosion is immediate and brutal, a heavy, invisible fist slamming into your side, sending a shockwave through your entire frame. Even through your reinforced plating, you feel a stinging, searing heat spread rapidly across your ribs, a sharp, angry burn that makes your muscles clench in protest, an undeniable jolt of pain that your suit barely dampens. The air around you is instantly filled with the acrid, metallic smell of superheated rock and the sharp tang of ionized particles, thick and choking. Your vision blurs for a sickening moment, the aftermath of the blast painting shimmering green after-images across your visor, making it hard to focus. Debris, sharp shards of stone and what look like fragments of some metallic projectile, rain down around you with a sharp clatter, bouncing off your helmet. You hear the distinct, heavy th whump of another shot charging, the enemy reloading without hesitation, not pausing for you to recover. There's a persistent, high-frequency hum now, a continuous threat indicator pulsing relentlessly within your helmet, demanding your attention, demanding immediate, aggressive action. You push yourself up, your suit complaining with protesting groans of strained hydraulics, your arm cannon already charging its own energy, a comforting thrumming in your hand. The next blast doesn't just hit close, It's a proximity explosion, detonating with a blinding flash and a roaring whoosh of displaced air right beside you. A wave of pure, scorching energy washes over your entire body, making your internal temperature regulators spike dramatically, threatening to overwhelm the cooling systems. Your entire suit vibrates violently from the impact, and a new, more urgent alarm blares minor shield degradation, accompanied by a flickering visual cue on your HUD. The heat is intense now. A palpable, burning sensation that feels like it's trying to cook you alive within your armor. A stinging, persistent reminder of how close you are to true failure. This isn't passive exploration. This is a fight for every inch, every second, where the world itself seems to actively push back, trying to eliminate you with focused, brutal intent. Each volley of fire, each evasive maneuver, forces you to acknowledge the incredibly fragile line between immediate survival and swift oblivion, demanding a constant hyper-alert state of being, where your senses are sharpened to an almost painful degree. You return fire, a precise, charged shot from your arm cannon slicing through the lingering smoke and debris. It connects with a sickening, metallic screech, a sound of tortured alloys tearing apart, instantly replacing the oppressive thrum of their weaponry. The unseen attacker lets out a distorted, dying wail, a high-pitched, almost mechanical shriek that rapidly devolves into a desperate, stuttering cough of static and failing circuits before abruptly ceasing. The air is still thick with the acrid scent of burnt metal and ozone, but now it's overlaid with a fresh, pungent smell of burning organics and something else, something distinctly alien and metallic, like scorched chitin. The high-pitched alert in your helmet finally silences, leaving behind an unnerving quiet that feels almost heavier than the previous cacophony. You slowly uncoil from your evasive maneuver, your muscles protesting with dull aches and sharp twinges from the close call. A persistent, prickling sensation, a raw tingle of residual heat, still radiates from the area on your suit where the proximity blast hit, an itchy, burning awareness beneath the plating. You lift a gloved hand to that spot, feeling the subtle, gritty texture of impact debris and the faint warmth that still permeates the material. Your suit's internal cooling system is working overtime, a low, steady hum now filling your ears as it struggles to regulate your internal temperature. As your visor clears, you can see the results of the skirmish. Across the narrow passage, where the red lasers had originated, a gaping, smoking cavity is blasted into the hard rock. Shattered fragments of what was once an automated turret, or an indigenous, mechanized sentinel lie strewn across the ground, small pieces still sparking faintly, their internal components smoldering. The air currents, previously still and stagnant, now carry wisps of this lingering smoke, swirling it around your armored boots, making your filtered breaths taste faintly bitter. The ground beneath your feet feels strangely uneven now, littered with pulverized rock and sharp fragments that crunch with an unsettling dryness. You stand there for a moment, letting the adrenaline slowly recede, feeling your pulse pound a heavy rhythm against the inside of your helmet. A strange, cold tingle of fear, a phantom shiver, runs through you, a delayed reaction to the sheer speed and suddenness of the attack. It's a raw, undeniable reminder of your own vulnerability, a stark contrast to the perceived invincibility of your power suit. Even with all the armor, all the advanced tech, that primal gut feeling still cuts through, sharp and undeniable. It makes you realize that survival isn't just about what your suit can withstand, but about how quickly your own instincts can react, how fast your mind can process danger, and how effectively you can translate that into action, even when your body is screaming in protest. It's a humbling, sobering truth that makes every step forward feel that much more deliberate, that much more earned. The lingering chill of the labyrinthine passages, combined with the lingering heat from the recent skirmish, now feels less like a contrast and more like a draining force. A subtle, almost imperceptible shift begins. A new sensation that crawls inward, deeper than skin or suit, settling in your core. It's not a physical wound, but a gnawing emptiness, a pervasive sense of depletion that mirrors the quiet hum in your helmet. The hum is always there, the background noise of your power suit systems, but now it has a different quality, a lower, more strained resonance, like a machine slowly winding down. Your internal diagnostics, usually a reassuring green, now show a single persistent amber warning light, energy levels low. It flickers with a soft, urgent pulse in the corner of your vision, a silent alarm that demands attention. You feel it in your muscles, a subtle dullness, a fraction less responsiveness than before. Your steps, usually powerful and fluid, feel a touch heavier on the cold, gritty ground. The hum of your life support system, once a steady, comforting presence, now seems to require more effort, a deeper, slower thrumming that vibrates through your chest plate. You can almost taste the diminishing reserves, a dry, almost bitter sensation at the back of your throat, a phantom thirst that no water can quench. The air around you, though breathable thanks to your filtration, feels thinner, somehow less invigorating. You realize it's not the air itself, but your body's perception of it, dulled by the draining energy. The glow of your arm cannon, usually vibrant and ready, seems a little less bright, its internal charge indicator showing a marked reduction in available power. When you move your arm, the hydraulic hiss is a fraction slower, a tiny bit less powerful. It's a subtle degradation, not enough to hinder immediate action, but enough to create a growing awareness of your vulnerability, a creeping sense of unease. Then, a new, soft auditory alert chimes in your helmet, a distinct two-tone ping that repeats at regular intervals. It's an auditory cue, specifically designed to cut through environmental noise, signaling that critical systems are now operating on reduced power. This isn't just a visual warning. It's a constant, gentle reminder that you are running on borrowed time, that every action, every jump, every shot fired, draws from a finite, dwindling resource. The cold seeps in a little deeper, the shadows seem a little more oppressive, and the vastness of the alien world feels even more immense when you know your power is ebbing away. In this silence, the quiet hum of depletion isn't just a technical readout, it's a visceral, unsettling sensation, a profound awareness of the ticking clock, and the stark reality that even the most formidable armor cannot run forever without sustenance. It's a quiet testament to the ever-present balance between power and vulnerability, a reminder that even the strongest beings are ultimately tethered to basic needs. As your hand reaches out, your armored fingers brush against a shimmering emerald orb pulsating gently in the gloom. The instant contact sends a potent, almost liquid warmth surging from that exact point, racing like an electric current up your arm and swiftly flooding every intricate circuit and plating of your power suit. It's not just a physical sensation, it's a deep internal resonance, a powerful, restorative thrum that vibrates through every fiber of your being, resonating deep within your bones. The low, strained hum of your suit's depleted systems, which had been a constant, weary companion, suddenly deepens, gaining a robust, steady rhythm, like a powerful, dormant engine roaring back to life with a clean, satisfying surge of power. The persistent amber warning light that had flickered relentlessly in your helmet, that nagging, visual reminder of dwindling energy, vanishes instantly. In its place, a reassuring, vibrant green indicator illuminates, unwavering and full. Your internal energy bar, once a dismal, anemic red sliver clinging to the edge of your display, rapidly fills with a gratifying, visual cascade of bright, luminous green pixels, climbing swiftly and smoothly towards full capacity, a complete replenishment. The two-tone ping of the low-power alert, which had been a constant, subtle irritant echoing in your comms, silences, leaving behind the clean, potent hum of fully operational systems, a symphony of efficiency. You feel the dull ache in your muscles, the subtle weakness that had begun to creep into your limbs swiftly recede, replaced by a surging vitality, a newfound lightness that spreads through your entire body. The dry, almost metallic sensation at the back of your throat, a phantom thirst from depletion, dissipates entirely, replaced by a clean, invigorating freshness, like breathing pure, crisp mountain air after being trapped in a stale, dusty confines for too long. Your arm cannon, which moments ago felt sluggish, heavy, and less responsive, now thrums with a palpable, vibrant energy, its charged glow returning to full, brilliant intensity. When you flex your fingers, testing the new surge of power, the hydraulics respond with immediate, precise articulation, a stark contrast to the subtle resistance and delayed action you felt before. The world around you, which had seemed heavy, muted, and oppressive under the weight of dwindling power, now sharpens into vivid, almost startling focus. Shadows lose their menacing, consuming depth, and the intricate, jagged details of the cavern walls, previously blurred by creeping fatigue, stand out with crisp, undeniable clarity. You feel a profound sense of alertness returning, your senses heightened to an almost uncomfortable degree. Every subtle sound, every rough texture beneath your boots, every minute shift in the air now registers with renewed, acute intensity. The path ahead, which moments before seemed an arduous, uncertain journey stretching into the unknown, now appears as a clear, defined, and achievable objective. This isn't just a physical recharge. It's a complete mental reset, a profound recalibration of your will, igniting a renewed, unwavering sense of purpose. In moments like these, you realize that true strength isn't just about the raw power you possess, but the relentless, unwavering will to renew it, to push forward, to conquer what lies ahead, no matter the odds. It's a powerful testament to the fact that even in the bleakest, most desolate depths, hope for renewal always awaits those who seek it, ready to reignite the fire of purpose within. With renewed energy coursing through your suit, you press deeper into the alien labyrinth. The cavern walls, which had merely pressed in before, now constrict dramatically. You find yourself at the entrance to a passage so impossibly narrow, so utterly unforgiving, that simply walking through it is no longer an option. This isn't just tight. It's a claustrophobic maw of solid rock, barely wide enough for your arm cannon, let alone your full armored bulk. The air inside is still and heavy, carrying the faint, mineral scent of ancient stone, but it's completely devoid of the usual subterranean echoes, swallowed by the sheer density of the passage. You take a breath, a measured intake of recycled air within your helmet, then activate your morph ball system. With a quiet hiss of hydraulics and a low, internal whirring, your impressive armored form collapses, retracting and folding in on itself. The heavy plates of your power suit slide and lock into a seamless, perfectly spherical shell, reducing your overall mass and height to a compact, metallic sphere, roughly a meter in diameter. The sudden shift in perspective is jarring, your world shrinking to a panoramic view from the spherical visor. The ground suddenly inches from your face. You feel the cool, smooth exterior of your new form pressing against you from all sides. A comforting, secure encasement. With a gentle whir of internal gyros, you begin to roll forward. The passage is indeed a perfect fit. The rough, unyielding stone of the walls and ceiling brushing against your metallic shell with a constant, low, grinding scrape. It's an intimate, almost intrusive contact. The surface of the rock leaving minute, powdery traces on your spherical plating. A thin film of grit that you can feel accumulating, You navigate by subtle shifts of weight, using the delicate balance of your internal gyros to propel yourself, feeling every tiny imperfection, every sharp crystal, every smooth, water-eroded curve of the ancient stone. The air, trapped within these constricted confines, feels dense, almost solid, offering a slight, subtle resistance to your rolling form. The passage twists and turns without warning, a subterranean coil that seems designed to disorient. You execute sharp, precise turns, the scrape of your suit against the rock increasing in intensity as you pivot. A high-pitched metallic shriek that reverberates in the confined space. There's a strange thrill in this nimble passage, a feeling of effortless motion and control as you glide through the seemingly impassable. You feel the cool, damp breath of the stone on your armor. The constant, intimate pressure. A stark reminder of the planet's immense, unwavering embrace. This isn't just about traversing space. It's about becoming one with the environment, flowing through its tightest constraints, turning an obstacle into a pathway. It's a powerful lesson in adaptation, demonstrating that sometimes the most effective way to overcome a barrier isn't through brute force, but through graceful, almost effortless transformation, changing not the world, but your place within it. As you roll further into the constricted passage, the way forward abruptly dead ends, a solid wall of rock, sealing off any further progress. The cold, unyielding stone presses in even more acutely now, leaving no room for error or maneuver. The air is heavy, stagnant, a claustrophobic blanket that seems to absorb all sound, leaving only the soft whir of your internal gyros. You feel the rough, unyielding surface of the wall directly in front of your spherical visor, its cold mineral scent now almost overwhelming in the confined space. This isn't just a dead end, it's a defiant barrier, a challenge demanding a different kind of answer. You position yourself carefully against the stubborn rock, feeling the solid resistance of the earth. With a calculated press, you activate your morph ball bomb. There's a subtle click, a barely audible mechanical whir within your spherical shell as the internal mechanisms prime, then a faint, high-pitched hum that quickly escalates. You feel a sudden, intense buildup of heat radiating from beneath you, a rapid, focused thermal expansion that makes your metallic plating vibrate. The air around you, already dense, seems to compress, to grow taut with contained energy, a pregnant stillness before the storm. Then, with a deafening roar that reverberates through the very bedrock and blasts through your suit's internal dampeners, the bomb detonates. The sound is less an explosion and more a colossal, invisible hammer blow. A crushing wave of pure concussive force slams into your spherical form, threatening to flatten you against the opposite wall. You feel the violent recoil, a momentary sensation of being airborne within the tiny chamber, as the sheer force of the blast tears into the solid rock barrier. The passage around you shudders, groans, and then crumbles, the dense air instantly filled with a choking cloud of pulverized stone, fine, gritty dust, and the acrid metallic tang of burnt minerals and ozone. Your visor flickers violently, trying to compensate for the sudden, blinding flash of light and the subsequent, overwhelming darkness. As the echoes of the blast slowly dissipate, replaced by the soft patter of falling debris, you feel the immediate relief of space expanding around you. The choking dust begins to settle, slowly revealing a newly formed passage, wide enough for you to uncoil back into your full armored form. The air is still thick with grit and the metallic taste of recent destruction, but it feels lighter, more breathable, now connected to a larger, unseen cavern beyond. You activate your internal purifiers, cleaning your visor, and look at the liberated path. Where once there was an impenetrable wall, there is now an opening, a promise of continued journey. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the only way forward is to embrace destruction, to actively shatter the barriers that stand in your way, and in doing so, create entirely new possibilities. The roar of the bomb wasn't just noise, it was the sound of liberation, the physical manifestation of stubborn will carving its own path through an unyielding world. You step through the newly blasted opening, and it hits you like a physical wall. Not just warmth, but an all-encompassing, brutal wave of heat that slams into your power suit with a tangible force, stealing the very breath from your lungs. It's like stepping into the heart of a planet-sized forge, every atom of air superheated, pressing down on you with an almost physical weight. Your suit's internal cooling systems immediately kick into a frantic, high-pitched overdrive, their straining whine filling your ears, battling desperately against the sudden, overwhelming thermal assault. You can feel the external plating warming rapidly, an alarming heat seeping inward, making your skin prickle and tingle uncomfortably beneath the protective layers. The air is thick, not with oxygen, but with the acrid, choking scent of sulfur and burning minerals, so potent it stings your nostrils even through the advanced filtration system, leaving a metallic, bitter taste that clings persistently to your tongue. The source of this inferno is immediately apparent, bathing the cavern in a hellish, pulsating glow. Rivers of molten, incandescent orange-red rock flow sluggishly through deep, chiseled channels in the cavern floor, their slow, viscous movement casting long, wavering shadows that dance and writhe on the distant walls. The sight is both mesmerizing and profoundly terrifying, a primal display of raw planetary power. You hear it too, that constant, horrifying sizzle. The sound of ancient rock being relentlessly consumed, eroded, and transformed, the low, gurgling slosh of the lava itself as it churns, and the sharp, snapping crackle of superheated gases escaping violently from countless hidden vents. Tiny, almost invisible volcanic particles sting your eyes, even through your visor's defenses, blurring your vision with their shimmering heat haze, and the rising distortion of the extreme temperature. Each breath you take, even the filtered, processed air within your helmet, feels warm, heavy, and strangely thin, as if the oxygen itself is being cooked out of the atmosphere, offering less sustenance with every intake. Your heavy boots sink slightly into the coarse, brittle ash that covers the ground, radiating an intense, persistent heat upwards, making your soles feel as if they're directly on a scorching griddle, threatening to melt the very alloys of your boots. You can feel the tremors, subtle yet powerful, of the planet's immense internal energies, a constant, low thrumming vibration that travels through the ground, up through your suit, and into your bones, a visceral reminder of the raw, untamed power seething just beneath your feet. This environment isn't just dangerous, it's alive with a destructive primal force, demanding a different kind of respect, a constant vigilance against its all-consuming embrace. It makes you keenly aware of the delicate balance your technology struggles to maintain against such overwhelming natural power, a testament to the humbling fact that even the most advanced armor is ultimately just a fragile shield against the planet's relentless, unyielding will. Enduring such primal forces demands not just strength, but an almost spiritual fortitude, a deep understanding of your own limits and the vast, indifferent power of the universe. The overwhelming oppressive heat of the molten cavern continues to beat down on you, a relentless, punishing force. Your suit's internal cooling systems are struggling, their high-pitched whine escalating into a desperate, frantic scream as they fight to maintain a habitable internal temperature. Your skin still prickles with discomfort, the metal of your armor radiating an alarming warmth inward, a constant, unpleasant reminder of the inferno raging outside. The air, thick with sulfur and the bitter taste of burning minerals, makes every filtered breath feel like an effort, as if you're pulling air through molten lead. Then you encounter it, a shimmering, almost ethereal energy conduit, pulsing with a faint crystalline blue light. Its very presence offers a promise of respite in this hellish landscape. With a calculated touch, your gloved hand makes contact, and an immediate, profound shift occurs. A wave of intense, invigorating coolness surges through your suit, not just neutralizing the external heat, but actively pushing it back, creating a palpable, internal barrier against the fiery world. The straining whine of your cooling systems instantly dampens, settling into a much calmer, efficient hum, their frantic battle replaced by a controlled, steady operation. You feel the metal of your armor, which moments ago was radiating an alarming heat, cool rapidly, becoming a sanctuary of comfortable, regulated temperature. The prickling sensation on your skin vanishes, replaced by a soothing internal calm. The air within your helmet, once heavy and thin, now feels crisp, clean, and invigorating, a breath of fresh air after suffocating in a furnace. The thick, acrid smell of sulfur and burning minerals outside seems to recede, becoming a distant, muted presence beyond the enhanced filtration of your suit. Instead, you pick up a faint, sharp metallic scent, not of burnt metal, but of finely tuned, perfectly optimized alloys, working in harmonious concert to repel the extreme conditions. It's the smell of pure resilience, of technology performing at its peak. Stepping forward, you notice the ash beneath your boots no longer feels scorching. The intense heat radiating upwards is completely negated, replaced by a stable, solid footing that feels detached from the inferno below. The gurgling, sizzling sounds of the molten rivers, while still present, are now distant, less menacing, filtered through an enhanced, protective layer of sound dampening. You observe the molten rock, the incandescent glow, the writhing shadows, but you experience them differently now, as powerful, awe-inspiring phenomena, rather than immediate, existential threats. The world hasn't changed, but your place within it has. You are no longer merely enduring the inferno. You are moving through it, a silent, unyielding presence. There's a profound sense of empowerment that comes with this newfound capability, a quiet confidence in your own adaptability, a realization that true strength isn't just about resisting, it's about transforming the very nature of the challenge, turning a deadly obstacle into just another part of the journey. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a profound shift in perception, a testament to the fact that with the right tools and mindset, even the most formidable environments can become pathways, not prisons. Leaving the defiant roar of the bomb and the intense heat of the molten caverns behind, you pass through a narrow, unassuming archway. The air immediately shifts, becoming profoundly dry and still, a startling contrast to the humid, sulfurous atmosphere you just endured. It carries a subtle, unique scent, not organic decay, nor metallic tang, but a profound, almost sweet dryness, like untouched parchment and ancient minerals, a smell that speaks of immense age and undisturbed silence. You feel the immediate dryness on your visor, the sudden absence of moisture making your internal filtration system cycle differently, a noticeable lightness in your filtered breaths. The ground beneath your heavy boots is no longer slick rock or abrasive ash, but a thick, soft carpet of fine, impalpable dust. It's the dust of ages, not recent debris, but the accumulated residue of millennia. Each deliberate step sends a delicate, almost silent puff of this ancient powder swirling around your ankles, a ghostly exhalation from the very floor. It muffles your footsteps, absorbing the sound, creating a profound quiet that feels almost sacred. Your boot leaves a clear, crisp imprint, only for the edges to slowly, imperceptibly soften as the dust resettles, a transient mark on an eternal canvas. As your helmet light cuts through the gloom, it illuminates vast, cavernous chambers supported by colossal, sculpted pillars, their surfaces eroded by the invisible hands of time. Intricate carvings, now faint and barely discernible, adorn the walls, telling stories in a language long forgotten. You reach out, your gloved fingers brushing against a cool, smooth section of a wall, feeling the incredibly fine layer of dust that coats everything. A silent veil covering ancient secrets. The rock itself feels impossibly old, worn to a glassy sheen in places, rough and pockmarked in others, each imperfection a testament to geological epochs. The silence here is absolute, broken only by the soft rhythmic hum of your own suit and the barely audible whisper of your careful movements. It's not an empty silence, but a profound one, heavy with the weight of forgotten knowledge, a solemn stillness that seems to demand reverence. You gaze up at the towering, almost impossibly high ceilings, lost in shadow, and feel a sense of immense scale, of something vast and ancient that dwarfs your own existence. This place isn't just old. It feels like a repository of lost epics, a silent library carved from the planet's very core. You feel a strange, humbling pressure, not physical, but existential. It's the weight of countless generations, of civilizations that rose and fell, of wisdom accumulated, and then, inevitably, lost to the relentless march of time. Every shadowed corner seems to hold an untold story, every eroded carving a fragment of a vast, unreadable chronicle. Standing amidst this monumental silence, covered in the dust of ages, you realize that even the most formidable power, the most enduring civilizations, are ultimately just whispers against the backdrop of eternity. It's a sobering thought, a potent reminder of the fleeting nature of even the grandest achievements, and the quiet, enduring power of time itself. As you continue to navigate the ancient, dust-laden chambers, the profound silence that permeates these vast spaces begins to subtly shift. The low, rhythmic hum of your own power suit, once the only discernible sound, now seems to mingle with something else, something incredibly faint but undeniably present. It's a delicate, high-frequency resonance, a barely audible thrum that seems to come from the very air itself, a sound that vibrates more in your inner ear than truly registers as an external noise. It's the whisper of dormant power, a subtle promise cutting through the millennia of stillness. You pause, tilting your helmet, trying to pinpoint the source of this ethereal hum amidst the heavy dust and the echoes of forgotten ages. Your suit's internal sensors, which had been registering only ambient mineral compounds, now flicker with a new, faint energy signature, a ghostly presence rising above the background radiation. You follow it, guided by instinct and the almost imperceptible increase in the resonant hum, moving deeper into a section of the cavern where the dust seems to lie even thicker, the shadows even deeper. The air, already dry, begins to carry a fleeting, sharp scent, a hint of ozone, and something akin to clean, cold electricity, a stark contrast to the old parchment smell of the dust. Then you see it, through the swirling motes of ancient dust. A soft, ethereal glow emanates from a cluster of objects arranged on what appears to be an impossibly old, intricately carved pedestal. These aren't natural formations. They are artifacts, ancient yet gleaming, crafted from an unknown dark metal that seems to absorb the gloom, yet radiate their own internal light. They pulse with a gentle, rhythmic blue-green luminescence, a beacon of advanced, dormant technology piercing the profound darkness. The hum strengthens, becoming a palpable vibration, a continuous, low thrum that resonates in your chest, a silent symphony of awakening. Each artifact, though covered in a thin, millennia-old layer of dust, possesses a smooth, almost organic curvature, a design that speaks of purpose and intelligence far beyond your own understanding. You reach out, your gloved hand extending towards the largest of the artifacts, a sleek, multifaceted crystal embedded within a metallic casing. As your fingers brush its surface, a jolt, not of electricity but of pure, contained energy, surges through your armor. It's cool to the touch, yet radiates a profound sense of latent power, a feeling that something immense and incredible is sleeping within. Your suit's power conduits immediately register an interaction, a sudden, powerful pull, as if the artifact is silently offering its secrets, its lost potential, to you. The hum around you intensifies, growing into a sustained, resonant chord that feels both ancient and utterly new. A profound sense of recognition washes over you, a deep, almost instinctual understanding that you have stumbled upon something vital, a key to unlocking capabilities long thought lost. In this moment, surrounded by the dust of ages and the silent hum of ancient power, you realize that history isn't just about what's gone, but about the profound, dormant strength that patiently waits to be rediscovered, offering a path forward that redefines not just what you can do, but what you can become. It's a powerful, humbling truth, a testament to the enduring legacy of brilliance, even when buried under the relentless march of time. The hum of the ancient artifacts, that fleeting promise of lost power, fades abruptly as you step through yet another threshold. The air here isn't just dry, it's utterly dead, thick with a stale, cloying chill that instantly envelops your power suit, seeping through even your enhanced insulation. This isn't the biting cold of Criteria or the damp chill of a subterranean maze. It's a profound internal cold, a pervasive sense of emptiness that makes your very bones ache. The pervasive scent is gone, replaced by an unnerving void, a lack of any discernible odor that feels more unsettling than any foul stench. The silence that descends is absolute, a heavy, suffocating blanket that smothers even the faint hum of your suit. It's a silence so deep, so profound, that it feels like a presence, a watchful, ghostly entity that drains all warmth, all sound, all hope. You take a breath, and the filtered air within your helmet feels cold, dead, offering no comfort, no invigoration. Your boots land on what appears to be a perpetually damp, smooth stone floor, but your steps produce no echo, no discernible sound, only a dull, muffled thud that seems to be swallowed whole by the vast, unseen space. Then you hear it, drip, 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 singular, sporadic drops of water, falling from unseen heights, landing with an impossibly distant, hollow resonance that seems to travel for miles before reaching your ears. Each solitary plink against the slick stone emphasizes the immense, oppressive emptiness around you, each echo dying before it can truly form. They are the only sounds in this desolate realm, persistent, melancholic pulses in a world that has long forgotten life. The walls around you, revealed by your helmet light, are not merely dark rock but polished, ancient surfaces that reflect no light, no warmth, only a profound, inky blackness that seems to absorb all energy. A creeping sensation, colder than any ice, begins to seep into your core. It's a sense of profound, crushing isolation, a heavy despair that settles like a physical weight on your shoulders, threatening to pull you down. The vastness of this dead space, coupled with the unnerving, ghostly silence and the mournful drips, conjures images of a world utterly drained, a place where even time itself has ceased to care. You find yourself scanning the darkness, not for threats, but for anything, any sign of life, any break in the oppressive emptiness. But there is nothing, only the lingering chill, the dead air, and the endless, taunting silence, a chilling testament to the finality of decay. A stark reminder that even the most formidable warrior can feel utterly, devastatingly alone in the face of absolute desolation. It forces you to wonder what battles were fought here, what hopes were crushed, leaving behind only this profound, chilling despair, a silent echo of ultimate defeat. The crushing despair of the ghostly silence still hangs heavy in the air, the cold of this dead realm seeping deep into your power suit, making you shiver despite the insulation. The mournful drip, drip, drip of water is your only companion in this vast, empty expanse. Then, a new sensation begins to prickle at the edges of your perception, a subtle shift in the oppressive stillness. A faint, almost imperceptible hum, like distant, failing machinery, starts to pulse through the frigid air, too low to be a sound, more like a vibration felt deep within your skull. Suddenly, a flicker. Far off in the profound darkness, a single, weak light splutters to life, a ghostly white against the inky black. It illuminates a small section of a towering, metallic structure for only an instant before dying out just as quickly. The afterimage burns in your visor, a stark reminder of something artificial, something mechanical that still clings to existence in this realm of death. The air, already stale and cold, now seems to carry a fleeting, almost phantom scent, a trace of old oil, burnt wiring, and something metallic, like rusting steel, a smell that speaks of lingering decay, of technology slowly dying. Another flicker, this time closer, to your left. A sequence of dim, emergency lights embedded in the ceiling above you briefly sputter, casting long, distorted shadows that writhe across the polished, dark stone floor. The light is so weak, so intermittent, that it barely illuminates, instead emphasizing the vastness of the darkness, making it feel more menacing, more alive. The metallic scent intensifies slightly, accompanied by a faint, persistent taste of rust and ozone on your tongue. A sharp, unpleasant flavor that creates an immediate sense of foreboding, a deep-seated unease that something is profoundly wrong here. The intermittent flashes of light create a disorienting effect, making it impossible to truly discern the shape or scale of the chamber. You move cautiously, your heavy boots barely making a sound on the slick, cold floor, the ghostly hum now a little stronger, a little more constant. You feel a growing prickle on your skin, an almost electric tension in the air, a silent warning that something is stirring, something ancient and mechanical, lurking just beyond the reach of your erratic vision. Your suit's internal sensors, usually so precise, struggle to lock onto anything definite, returning only fragmented, distorted readings, emphasizing the unnaturalness of this place. The air itself seems to grow heavier, pressing in, laden with an unspoken threat. Every time a light flickers on, it feels less like a guide and more like a taunt, revealing just enough to show you how lost you truly are, how alone. This isn't the quiet mystery of ancient ruins. It's the unsettling stillness of a place that refuses to die, a graveyard of technology that still whispers of its past, promising only a lingering metallic taste of dread. It's a chilling realization that sometimes the most terrifying threats aren't loud or obvious, but subtle, persistent, and deeply unsettling, a slow, creeping certainty that you are not, in fact, alone, but merely unseen, moving through a landscape that echoes with unseen dangers, where every flicker of light is merely a brief interruption of an ever-present, haunting darkness. The silence, the cold, and the phantom echoes of the dead mechanical realm vanish abruptly as you drop through a hidden shaft, plunging into an entirely new alien environment. The impact is not hard. It's a sudden, engulfing immersion in an impossibly dense, frigid liquid. An immediate, crushing pressure clamps down on your power suit, squeezing every plate and joint with relentless force. You feel it deep in your chest, a dull, pervasive ache that makes your lungs instinctively want to expand, even though they're perfectly sealed within your life support system. The external plating of your armor groans audibly under the immense strain, a low, metallic creak that vibrates through your entire frame, a stark reminder of the titanic forces at play. The water is shockingly cold, an icy embrace that attempts to leach warmth from your reinforced suit, even through its advanced thermal regulation. Your cooling systems, so recently battling searing heat, now hum with a powerful counter-effort, fighting to maintain your internal temperature against the frigid depths. The world around you is instantly transformed into a murky, ethereal green. Your helmet lights, usually piercing and sharp, are diffused, absorbed by the dense liquid, creating a limited bubble of hazy, verdant illumination that barely extends beyond your immediate reach. Shapes in the distance are blurred, indistinct, phantom forms that waver and shift with the subtle currents, suggesting vast, unseen structures or colossal, hidden life. Sound is profoundly muted here. The usual hum of your suit is amplified, a resonant thrumming in your ears, while external noises are swallowed by the water's embrace. You hear only a faint, distant gurgling, the subtle displacement of water by your own movements, and the occasional, almost imperceptible ping of sonar pulses bouncing off unseen obstacles. The air within your helmet, usually clean, now has a faint, sharp metallic taste, a byproduct of your suit's systems struggling against the intense pressure, a persistent reminder of your hostile surroundings. Every movement requires conscious, deliberate effort, pushing against the water's immense resistance, transforming a simple step into a slow, ponderous glide. Your powerful magnetic boots find no purchase on the smooth, unseen bottom, leaving you in a state of unsettling, weighted suspension. As you descend deeper, following a faint, barely visible shaft of light from far above, the pressure intensifies further, tightening its grip, a silent, relentless squeeze. You feel the slow, steady drain on your suit's energy reserves as it valiantly fights to equalize the internal and external pressures. The green murk presses in, threatening to swallow your limited visibility entirely, leaving you with only the crushing weight and the eerie, muffled sounds. It's a profound sense of isolation, a stark reminder that beneath the surface, the world holds an entirely different, unforgiving set of rules, where even the most armored warrior is at the mercy of its overwhelming silent power. Here, your strength isn't measured by how fast you move, but by how long you can simply endure, how long you can resist the constant, crushing embrace of the deep. The crushing pressure of the deep water continues its relentless embrace, the murky green visibility, barely allowing you to discern the vast, unseen structures around you. Every movement is still a ponderous struggle against the dense liquid. As you carefully propel yourself forward, a new sensation brushes against your armor, something soft, yet incredibly persistent and sticky. It's the touch of alien hydroflora, long, translucent tendrils that sway lazily in the subtle currents, their surfaces covered in a fine, almost imperceptible fuzz that clings tenaciously to your suit. These submerged plants aren't just obstacles. They're alive, their gelatinous leaves and stalks parting reluctantly as you pass, then, slowly, silently, closing in behind you. You feel the constant, gentle drag of their clinging forms, a tenacious adhesion that makes even a simple glide a continuous effort. When you push them aside, they leave a thin, almost slimy residue on your power suit, a cool, slightly viscous film that stubbornly adheres to the metallic surfaces. The water itself, though still frigid, seems to have a faint, organic taste, a subtle bitterness that filters through your system, a product of this teeming, alien aquatic ecosystem. Then, you activate your suit's gravity-nullifying systems, a unique adaptation for submerged travel. A low, powerful hum, distinct from your life support, vibrates through your entire frame, a sensation of immense, contained energy. With a subtle surge, the crushing weight that had been a constant companion vanishes. You are no longer merely pushing through the water. You are floating, completely weightless, suspended in the emerald gloom. The sticky drag of the hydroflora, while still present, becomes manageable, almost graceful. You can now effortlessly glide through the water, a silent, agile phantom navigating the alien currents. The grace of this submerged flight is exhilarating. With minimal effort, you propel yourself forward, a subtle flick of your wrist, a gentle shift in your internal gyros, sending you soaring through the water with an almost dreamlike fluidity. The cool, viscous residue left by the hydroflora now feels less like an impediment and more like a gentle caress as you slip past, your movements effortless, silent, and precise. The murky green visibility, once an oppressive barrier, now feels like a vast, unexplored frontier, opening up to your newfound agility. You can feel the subtle eddies and currents of the water, flowing around your sleek form, guiding your passage through the intricate submerged landscape. In this moment of effortless movement, surrounded by the silent, swaying hydroflora and the endless green, a profound sense of liberation washes over you. The world, which had seemed so oppressive, so unyielding, now bends to your will. It's a powerful reminder that true mastery isn't just about conquering obstacles, but about understanding their nature and adapting yourself to move through them with grace and efficiency. You realize that even in the most hostile environments, with the right tools and ingenuity, you can transcend limitations, finding a fluid, almost balletic freedom in the face of immense, crushing power. It's a testament to the endless possibilities that emerge when you refuse to be constrained by what merely seems impossible. You're gliding through the murky green depths, the newfound grace of submerged flight, a welcome antidote to the crushing pressure. The faint, organic taste of the hydroflora still lingers, a subtle presence in the water. Then, a sound unlike any you've heard before pierces the muted aquatic silence. It's a high-pitched, guttural squeal, thin and sharp, reverberating through the water and through the very core of your power suit, somehow cutting through the liquid's dampening effect with chilling clarity. It's a sound that speaks of pure predatory hunger, alien and ancient, and it sends an immediate, icy spike of primal fear through your entire being. Before you can even fully process the threat, something cold and impossibly fast slams into your back with a wet, adhesive thud. Your suit's external sensors immediately scream a proximity alert, but it's too late. You feel it. A sickening, incredibly powerful suction, like a colossal, invisible maw clamping down on your spine, desperately trying to pull you into itself. The pressure is immense, not external water pressure, but a focused, biological force attempting to draw something out of you. A wave of profound, bone-deep cold radiates from the point of contact, seeping through your armor's thermal defenses, instantly chilling your blood, a cold that feels less like temperature and more like an absence of life. Then, the draining sensation begins. It's not just an energy depletion. It's a visceral, deeply unsettling feeling, like your very essence, your life force, is being pulled directly from you. Your suit's internal power indicators, which were just brimming with full energy, flash wildly, plummeting with alarming speed. You feel a sudden, profound weakness flood your limbs, a rapid, almost instant exhaustion that saps your strength, making your movements sluggish, heavy, resistant. A dizzying wave of disorientation washes over you, blurring your vision, making the murky green water around you spin. The faint, high-pitched squeal continues, now closer, inside your head, a triumphant, insatiable cry of a predator feeding. You try to move, to dislodge the unseen horror, but your muscles respond slowly, heavy as lead. The internal cold intensifies, a freezing grip spreading through your chest, reaching for your heart. Your energy reserves, once vibrant, are now anemic, flickering dangerously. You can almost taste the bitter, metallic tang of your own life force being consumed, an unbearable, sickening flavor that coats your tongue, forcing a desperate, primal surge of panic through your system. Every fiber of your being screams to break free, to escape this terrifying embrace. It's a profound, visceral reminder that some threats don't just damage your armor, they aim for the very core of who you are, making you realize that the most terrifying fear isn't of death, but of being consumed, of having your very existence slowly, deliberately stolen from you. It's a chilling testament to the predatory will that exists in the universe, an absolute, relentless hunger that preys on the living, reducing even the most powerful warrior to a vessel of rapidly draining energy, struggling against an enemy that seeks to leave nothing behind. The sickening suction on your back continues, relentless and draining, pulling at your very life force. Your suit's power indicators are still plummeting, a horrifying cascade of red on your display, and a dizzying disorientation threatens to overwhelm you. The high-pitched squeal of the unseen predator is a triumphant shriek in your ears, now laced with a gurgling, wet sound, as if it's drinking you in. Your limbs feel like lead, every muscle heavy, unresponsive, but a primal, desperate surge of pure instinct overrides the exhaustion. You have to fight. With a monumental effort, a slow, grinding protest from your weakened hydraulics, you force your arm cannon to shift. The movement feels impossibly heavy, each centimeter an agonizing struggle against the creature's immense, adhesive grip and your rapidly fading strength. You hear the internal whir of the charging mechanism, a faint, struggling hum that usually builds quickly to a powerful thrum, but now sounds strained, hesitant, as if drawing from the last embers of your suit's power. The murky green water around you blurs further, your vision tunneling as you fight to maintain consciousness, to focus your aim on the unseen horror clamped to your back. Then, with a final, desperate burst of pure, unadulterated will, you fire. The arm cannon emits a powerful, focused beam, a brilliant spear of energy that slices through the water with a deafening, muffled boom. The concussive force of the blast reverberates through your entire body, a painful jolt that almost sends you spiraling. You feel the immediate impact, a wet, fleshy tearing, followed by a violent, spasming thrash against your back. The incredibly powerful suction breaks instantly, releasing its relentless grip, and you're suddenly, terrifyingly free, though disoriented. The high-pitched squeal from the creature transforms into a dying, gurgling shriek, diminishing rapidly as it retreats into the murky depths, a shadowy, indistinct form writhing away into the gloom. Silence, profound and heavy, rushes back in, broken only by the ragged, wheezing sound of your own filtered breath within the helmet. The internal cold that had gripped your core slowly, grudgingly, begins to recede, leaving behind a profound, bone-deep ache and an alarming weakness that still pervades your limbs. Your suit's power indicators are critically low now, just a sliver of red remaining, blinking a desperate warning. The metallic tang of consumed life force still coats your tongue, a bitter, constant reminder of how close you just came to utter oblivion. You push against the water, propelling yourself weakly, scanning the green murk for any sign of a lingering threat. Nothing, only the quiet, cold depths. Survival, you realize, isn't always about overwhelming force or flawless strategy. Sometimes it's just about that raw, animalistic refusal to give up, even when everything else is failing, even when defeat tastes like metal and feels like the cold hand of finality reaching out to claim you. It's a testament to the primal, unyielding power of sheer, stubborn will, pushing you through moments when logic dictates you should simply cease to exist. The lingering weakness from the near-fatal encounter still clings to you, a cold, heavy shroud in the murky green depths. Your suit's power indicators are still a desperate red sliver, a constant, nagging reminder of your vulnerability. The metallic taste of consumed life force, bitter and sharp, clings to your tongue. You push through the dense water, each movement a conscious effort, scanning the indistinct gloom for any sign of a way forward. Or, better yet, a source of replenishment. The only sounds are the muffled thrum of your strained life support, and the slow, deliberate pulse of your sonar. echoing off unseen, shifting forms. Then, through the haze of particulate matter suspended in the water, a faint, metallic gleam catches your eye. It's not the vibrant pulse of an energy orb, nor the organic shimmer of hydroflora. This is different. A dull, insistent glint, hinting at something artificial, something deliberately placed, lying half-buried in the silt of the cavern floor. You alter your trajectory, propelling your heavy form with renewed, desperate purpose towards the distant light. As you draw closer, the murky green water yields, slowly clarifying just enough to reveal a sprawling debris field, a silent graveyard of advanced machinery. A thick, pervasive scent immediately filters through your suit's environmental controls, overriding the faint organic taste of the water. It's the unmistakable heavy smell of old, oxidized metal, rust, profound and ancient, mixed with a faint, oily tang of long-dead lubricants and decaying circuitry. It's a bitter, metallic perfume that coats your filtered breath, a pungent odor of time and entropy at work on technology. Your boots finally touch down on the silty bottom, sinking slightly into the soft, pulverized debris, and the crunch of countless sharp, fragmented pieces of metal underfoot echoes faintly in the muted silence. Your helmet light cuts through the gloom, revealing a landscape of twisted girders, shattered panels, and half-buried components, all encrusted with layers of deep orange and brown rust. These aren't natural formations. They are the skeletal remains of what was once a powerful, complex installation, now reduced to a derelict ruin. You reach down, your gloved hand brushing against a large, angular piece of plating. It's cold, rough, and strangely brittle, flaking away in gritty layers under your touch. Exposed wires, thick as your arm, snake out from beneath larger sections, their insulation long dissolved, revealing corroded copper and steel. You find a console, half crushed, its display shattered, but beneath the grime, a familiar Federation insignia is faintly visible, oxidized but defiant. As you sift through the wreckage, the metallic scent of rust growing stronger, almost overwhelming, you feel a spark of opportunity. Amidst the decay, there are still recognizable components, still faint power signatures flickering on your internal scanner, modules, conduits, forgotten spare parts that could be salvaged, adapted, integrated. It's a chance to rebuild, to repair, to extract new strength from the remnants of what was lost. The cold, heavy taste of dread begins to recede, replaced by a sharp, invigorating taste of determination. You realize that even in the most desolate ruins, amidst the silent, corroding monuments to past failures, there is always the potential for renewal, a profound, almost hopeful understanding that even broken things can be made whole again, stronger, more resilient than before, simply by recognizing the inherent value in what others have discarded. It's a testament to the fact that resourcefulness isn't just about using what you have, but about finding what you need in the least expected places. Amidst the silent, rusted graveyard of discarded technology, your power suit's low-power warning blinks desperately, a sharp contrast to the potential surrounding you. The pervasive scent of corrosion and dead lubricant still hangs heavy, a metallic shroud. But now, mixed with it, is a faint, almost exciting tang of ozone and newly exposed circuits. You kneel in the fine silt, your gloved hands moving with practiced precision, sifting through the wreckage. Your visor's internal scanner, though operating on fumes, highlights the faint energy signatures, the ghosts of power that still linger within the corroded components. You select a small, intact power conduit, its casing scarred, but its core surprisingly sound. Your specialized multi-tool extends from your arm, its small, articulate manipulators whirring softly as you begin to carefully dismantle parts of your suit's forearm plating. The cold, slightly rough texture of your own armor gives way to the smooth, intricate wiring and delicate energy relays beneath. You feel the fine dust from the derelict parts clinging to your gloves, a gritty reminder of the ruins, as you meticulously clean and prepare the salvaged piece. The air around you, normally muted by the water, now seems to resonate with the delicate clicks and gentle whirs of your tool, a rhythmic, purposeful sound in the vast silence of the deep. With a focused breath, you begin the delicate work of integration. The salvaged conduit is surprisingly heavy, cool to the touch. As you press it into place, you feel a faint, almost imperceptible tremor run through your suit as its systems attempt to identify and link to the foreign element. There's a moment of tension, a sharp spike of anxiety, as a red warning briefly flashes on your display, system incompatibility. Your breath hitches. But then, with a subtle shift of your fingers, a minute adjustment to the connection, the red light vanishes. Instead, a soft, vibrant blue line of power traces itself across your internal schematics, connecting the salvaged conduit seamlessly into your power matrix. A low, steady hum, distinct from your life support, begins to build inside your arm, emanating from the newly integrated piece. It's a powerful, resonant buzz of active circuitry, a feeling of dormant energy being awakened and directed. The entire forearm of your suit warms slightly, a comforting, invigorating heat that spreads quickly through your plating. The desperate, blinking red power indicator in your helmet vanishes entirely, replaced by a surge of vibrant green, steadily climbing as the salvaged conduit begins to transfer its hidden reserves into your suit's depleted core. Your body, which was just moments ago heavy with exhaustion, feels a sudden, profound lightness, a renewed vigor that banishes the lingering weakness. The metallic taste of consumed life force dissipates, replaced by the clean, almost sharp taste of fully functioning, optimized systems. As the last of the salvaged energy fully integrates, a small, subtle chime, a musical notification of a full power reserve, rings in your helmet. You flex your arm, feeling the fresh, potent strength, the smooth, effortless response of fully powered hydraulics. The metallic smell of rust now seems like a distant memory, replaced by the subtle, clean scent of pure energy. Standing in this underwater graveyard of forgotten technology, having drawn strength from its ruins, you realize that self-reliance isn't just about what you can do on your own, but about the profound satisfaction of shaping your own fate, adapting, rebuilding, and finding new power even in the most desolate places. It's a testament to the unyielding spirit that transforms wreckage into renewed potential, finding triumph in the quiet, precise act of creation. With renewed energy surging through your suit, you finally break free from the crushing depths of the water world, propelling yourself upwards through a hidden vertical shaft. The transition is abrupt, not a gentle surfacing, but a sudden, violent eruption from liquid into a vast, dry, and impossibly cold chamber. The oppressive pressure on your suit vanishes, replaced by a profound, almost dizzying lightness. The air, thin and icy, immediately assaults your suit's thermal regulators, sending a fresh wave of cold seeping inward, a stark contrast to the comfortable warmth of your recharged suit. It carries no discernible scent, only the sterile, biting emptiness of absolute void, a smell that isn't really a smell at all. You find yourself standing on a metallic grating, high above a colossal, circular cavern that seems to stretch into infinity, its depths swallowed by an impenetrable blackness. Your helmet light, usually so effective, is completely overwhelmed here, its beam dissipating uselessly into the immense cavernous void, illuminating only the immediate few meters around you. This isn't a natural formation. It's a colossal, artificial space, crafted on a scale that defies comprehension, an impossible emptiness that generates a terrifying sense of isolation. The silence here is absolute, not the muffled quiet of water, nor the ancient hush of ruins, but a profound, almost violent absence of all sound. It's a vacuum of noise that amplifies your own internal processes to an unsettling degree. You hear the crisp, distinct sound of your own recycled breath within the helmet, each inhale and exhale loud, insistent, a solitary rhythm against the backdrop of total nothingness. The subtle whir of your suit's internal gyros, the soft click of your joints, every minute movement seems to reverberate inside your head, amplified, echoing in the vast, empty space that surrounds you. You reach out, your gloved hand brushing against the cold, metallic railing of the grating, and feel the faint tremor of its ancient construction. The metal is smooth, incredibly dense, and radiates a pervasive cold that your insulation struggles to fully block. As you peer into the abyss below, seeing nothing but absolute black, a profound weight settles over you, a crushing sense of isolation. It's not physical, but mental. The weight of unspoken thoughts, of your solitary presence in an utterly barren, artificial void, where no other life, no other consciousness seems to exist. This vast emptiness forces a deep internal reflection. Every step you take, every breath you draw, every thrum of your suit feels like a monumental statement in the face of such overwhelming nothingness. You realize that sometimes the greatest challenge isn't battling an external foe, but grappling with the profound silence and the sheer scale of isolation, confronting your own thoughts, your own fears, in a world that offers no external distraction, only the stark, undeniable echo of your own existence. It's a humbling realization that even the most powerful warrior can feel utterly insignificant when confronted with such an immense, empty space, where the true battle is fought within the confines of your own mind, against the weight of utter solitude. The profound, icy emptiness of this colossal chamber continues to press down on you, a silent, suffocating weight that amplifies every internal sound. The crisp hiss of your breath, the thrum of your suit, the very beat of your own heart. Your helmet light still dissipates uselessly into the vast, black abyss, offering no comfort, only emphasizing your terrifying isolation. The cold, sterile air, devoid of scent, feels like a constant drain on your resolve, a stark contrast to the vivid, teeming worlds you've traversed. As you stand there, suspended between the metallic grating and the endless void, a strange sensation begins to creep into your awareness. It's not physical, not a sound or a taste, but a faint, almost translucent memory, like a half-forgotten dream. A fleeting image flashes behind your visor. A warmth, a gentle breeze, the soft murmur of familiar voices, the vibrant green of a distant, living world under a sun that casts long, welcoming shadows. It's the ghost of a memory of home, of a place far removed from this desolate, artificial abyss. You can almost feel the reassuring touch of a hand, hear a whispered word, a fleeting comfort from a life that feels impossibly distant, a life you barely remember. The memory is as fleeting as it is vivid, a sharp, poignant pang in your chest that highlights the stark reality of your present. The gentle murmur of those phantom voices quickly fades, replaced by the relentless, amplified echo of your own breath, drawing you back to the chilling emptiness. The warmth dissipates, leaving behind the deeper, more profound cold of your current surroundings, a cold that now feels not just environmental, but existential. The vibrant greens of that remembered world are swallowed by the inky blackness of this cavern, a stark contrast that reinforces your profound solitude. Yet, even as this fragile comfort of memory fades, something new, something solid, begins to form within you. It's a hardening, a crystallization of resolve. The weight of the unspoken thoughts, the crushing sense of isolation, doesn't vanish, but it transforms. Instead of despair, a quiet, unyielding determination takes root. You realize that the very act of remembering, of connecting to a lost warmth, provides not weakness, but a powerful foundation. This emptiness, this desolation, cannot break you. It cannot extinguish the faint, persistent ember of hope that memory ignites. You clench your gloved hand, feeling the solid cold metal of your arm cannon, a grounding presence in the void. Your posture, which had sagged slightly under the weight of solitude, straightens, a subtle, almost imperceptible hardening of your stance. You gaze into the impenetrable darkness, no longer with apprehension, but with a quiet, fierce defiance. The echoes of your own breath, once a reminder of isolation, now become a rhythmic testament to your enduring presence, a steady beat in the vast, indifferent silence. In this immense, artificial void, you find a profound, personal strength, a quiet resolve to endure, to push forward, not just for a memory, but for the fundamental act of continuing, a powerful assertion of life against overwhelming nothingness. It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to find meaning and purpose, even in the starkest, most desolate landscapes, drawing strength not from what is present, but from the indelible imprint of what once was, and what could still be. The immense, echoing silence of the vast chamber, broken only by the steady hum of your fully restored suit, is violently interrupted, not by a sound, at first, but by a sudden, deep vibration that slams into you from beneath a metallic grating. It's a low, resonant thrumming that travels through the very bedrock, vibrating up through your magnetized boots, rattling every joint in your power suit, and shaking your teeth in your jaw. This isn't just an earthquake. It's a deliberate, colossal movement, the unmistakable tremor of something impossibly massive stirring deep beneath the surface. The grating beneath your feet groans under an unseen, immense pressure, its ancient metal protesting with long, drawn-out scrapes and creaks. Fine dust, stirred from millennia of stillness, begins to rain down from the colossal shadowed ceiling, swirling in the faint glow of your helmet light. Small, pebbles dislodge themselves from unseen crevices, bouncing off your helmet and clattering loudly on the resonant metal floor, each impact emphasizing the immense, unseen force at work. Your internal gyros work overtime, struggling to stabilize you against the relentless, escalating vibrations that threaten to throw you off balance. Then, the smell hits you. It's not the ozone of burnt circuits, nor the sweetness of Brinstar, but a foul, prehistoric stench, thick and cloying. A wave of acrid, sulfurous air, heavy with the unmistakable aroma of ancient, reptilian musk and stagnant water, surges up from the abyss below, instantly overwhelming your suit's filtration system. It's a taste of pure, primeval rot and a metallic bitterness that coats your tongue, burning your sinuses even through the filtered air. This isn't just a creature, it's an entire ecosystem of decay, radiating an overwhelming, sickening presence. The ground-shaking tremors intensify, each successive jolt more violent than the last. You brace yourself, instinctively lowering your stance, arm cannon already charged and ready, its internal thrum a steady reassurance against the mounting chaos. A new sound begins to emerge from the depths, a deep, guttural rumble that isn't quite a roar yet, but a massive, strained exhalation of breath, powerful enough to stir the dust into agitated clouds around your knees. It vibrates through your entire being, a low-frequency hum that promises colossal scale, immense power, and an ancient, territorial rage. Your visor picks up momentary, colossal shadows shifting in the far distance, indistinct shapes that dwarf anything you've yet encountered, illuminated by a faint, internal, sickly yellow glow from the depths. This isn't just a monster. It's a force of nature, a living mountain. In moments like these, faced with something so impossibly vast and ancient, you realize that true fear isn't just about survival. It's about the humbling, primal awareness of your own insignificant place in a universe full of immense, terrifying wonders. forcing you to tap into a raw, fundamental courage that lies deeper than any armor or weapon. The ground-shaking tremors have finally ceased. The colossal, ancient roar has fallen silent, replaced by a lingering, shuddering groan that echoes deep within the cavern, a mournful sound of immense, dying mass. The acrid, sulphurous scent of monstrous breath and primordial decay, which had choked the air moments before, slowly begins to dissipate, leaving behind a sharp, metallic tang of ozone and spent energy, a cleaner, though still pungent, smell of conflict. Your suit's combat alerts, which had shrieked relentlessly, now flicker into a calmer diagnostic mode, showing minor system strain but no critical failures. You stand there, arm cannon still raised, its internal hum a powerful, steady thrum. But your body is a landscape of aches and tremors. Every muscle in your frame screams in protest, a symphony of fatigue and lingering impact. You feel a persistent, deep sting radiating from your right shoulder where a massive claw grazed your Variasuit, even though the armor held. It's a dull, angry throb that demands attention, a hot, internal burn that your suit's cooling system struggles to fully soothe. Your vision, which had narrowed to a hyper-focused tunnel during the intense battle, slowly expands, revealing the colossal, inert form of the defeated creature, slumped against the distant wall, a mountain of scales and bone. Your breath, which had been short, sharp gasps within your helmet, now deepens, becoming long, slow, shaky inhales and exhales. You can feel the sweat, cold and clammy, clinging to your skin beneath the intricate layers of your power suit, a stark reminder of the immense physical exertion. A profound exhaustion washes over you, threatening to buckle your knees. The adrenaline, which had coursed through your veins like pure plasma, slowly recedes, leaving behind a trembling weakness that makes your hands shake, an involuntary tremor that you can't quite control. You slowly lower your arm cannon, the movement feeling impossibly heavy, its weight a physical burden. The metallic grating beneath your feet, which had rattled so violently, is now still, only the faint echoes of the creature's dying groan reverberating through its ancient structure. A wave of profound, trembling relief washes over you, a sudden, almost overwhelming lightness in your chest, even amidst the physical pain. It's the kind of relief that leaves you hollowed out, utterly spent, yet undeniably alive. You look at the silent, colossal form of the defeated foe, then at your own battle-scarred gauntlet, seeing the faint scorch marks, the barely perceptible dents. This wasn't just a fight, it was a testament to endurance, a confrontation with a primordial force. In this aftermath, with the lingering sting of battle and the profound, trembling relief of survival, you realize that victory isn't always about the roar of triumph, but often about the quiet, internal shudder of relief, the profound awareness of simply having endured, of having pushed through the breaking point and found yourself still standing. It's a humbling, exhausting yet deeply satisfying truth, a silent testament to the resilience of body and spirit when pushed to their absolute limits. The lingering aches from your titanic battle with the colossal beast still throb deep within your muscles, a constant, weary reminder of your physical limits. You move through a newly opened passage, leaving the silent, enormous carcass behind. The air, which had briefly cleared of the monster's foul stench, now shifts dramatically. It's not just a change in temperature or humidity, it's a pervasive, choking presence that immediately invades your suit's environmental filtration. A sharp, incredibly acrid smell, like 100 batteries corroding at once, mixed with a sickening metallic sweetness, assaults your nostrils. It's the unmistakable scent of strong acid, so potent it makes your eyes water even through your sealed visor, leaving a persistent, burning chemical taste on your tongue. The ground beneath your boots is slick, perpetually wet, with a thin film of viscous, sickly green liquid that bubbles faintly with microscopic activity. Your heavy steps produce a soft, squelching sound as you move, the liquid clinging to your boots, trying to pull at your momentum. You reach out, your gloved hand brushing against a cavern wall that seems to weep this corrosive fluid. The moment of contact is chilling, a subtle, immediate sizzle that vibrates through your armor, a rapid, almost imperceptible dissolving action against your reinforced plating. You feel a distinct, tingling heat radiate from the point of contact, a sensation of material being slowly, relentlessly eaten away. Your suit's integrity alarms immediately flare, a high-pitched, urgent warning blaring in your ear, indicating localized surface corrosion. The very air here is corrosive. Tiny, almost invisible droplets of acid float in the humid atmosphere, condensing on your visor, leaving shimmering, oily streaks that momentarily obscure your vision before being wiped away by automated systems. Each filtered breath carries the burning chemical tang, making your throat feel raw, your lungs subtly irritated. Despite the protection, you hear the constant, insidious hiss of the liquid as it silently eats away at the cavern walls. A low, unnerving sizzle that is both everywhere and nowhere, a symphony of slow, steady destruction. Deep, dark pools of this luminous green acid shimmer eerily in the distance, their surfaces churning gently, releasing visible, noxious fumes that climb towards the ceiling like spectral fingers. The pervasive feeling is one of relentless erosion, of constant, unyielding threat to your very existence. Every surface, every breath, every moment is a confrontation with a substance that seeks to break down, to dissolve, to reduce everything to its base components. It's a profound sense of certain doom, a chilling awareness that one wrong step, one compromised seal, could lead to rapid, agonizing disintegration. This environment isn't about fighting, it's about enduring, about a constant, vigilant dance with silent, pervasive destruction, where the world itself is a living, breathing, corrosive agent. Here, you realize, survival isn't about strength, but about an unwavering, almost desperate resilience against a threat that seeks to utterly unmake you, slowly, silently, relentlessly. It forces you to question the very nature of resistance, when the enemy is not a foe you can defeat, but the very environment you must navigate. The oppressive, corrosive scent of acid still burns your sinuses, clinging to your tongue as you carefully navigate the treacherous, slick ground. Your suit's integrity alarms continue their low, persistent hum, a constant reminder of the environment's relentless assault. You're stepping cautiously around bubbling pools of sickly green liquid, each movement deliberate, when a low, sustained rumble begins to build deep beneath your feet. It's not the explosive tremor of a monster, nor the subtle thrum of distant machinery. This is the growl of the earth itself, a deep, unsettling vibration that radiates from the very core of the planet, making the ground beneath you feel unstable, alive. The rumble intensifies rapidly, rising from a deep thrum to a powerful, guttural roar that vibrates through your entire frame, rattling your teeth. The cavern walls begin to shudder, fine dust and loose pebbles raining down around you with a soft clatter, mingling with the ever-present acid spray. You feel the ground beneath your heavy boots shift, a distinct, unsettling lurch that throws you off balance. Your internal gyros immediately fight for stabilization, but this isn't a localized tremor. It's a profound, tectonic unrest, a massive, grinding friction far beneath the surface. Then, a sickening crack echoes loudly through the acid-laced air, sharp and resonant, followed by a series of groans and snaps. You feel the ground beneath your left boot dip sharply, a sudden, terrifying loss of stable footing. Without warning, the rock directly ahead of you begins to fracture, huge fissures spiderwebbing across its surface with audible tearing sounds. A massive section of the path you were about to traverse lurches downwards with a slow, grinding shriek of rock tearing from rock, plunging silently into the depths of a luminous green acid pool below, its surface momentarily boiling with disturbed venom. A cold, undeniable spike of panic shoots through you. The path forward is crumbling, literally dissolving before your eyes, threatening to plunge you into the corrosive abyss. Your suit's automated voice, usually calm, now emits a sharp, urgent alert. Structural integrity compromised. Immediate evasive action recommended. You hear the crunch and scrape of more rock giving way, the ominous splashes in the acid below, each sound a terrifying countdown. The metallic taste of acid on your tongue sharpens, suddenly more potent, more real. As the fumes rise from the newly exposed abyss, you recoil instinctively, scrambling backwards, your boots skidding on the slick, unstable surface, fighting desperately to find solid ground that might not exist. This isn't a challenge to overcome with a weapon. It's a race against the planet's own destructive will, a brutal confrontation with the raw, unpredictable power of geological forces. In moments like these, faced with a collapsing world, you realize that true vulnerability isn't just about being hurt, but about the terrifying, helpless feeling of having the very ground beneath you betray your trust, forcing you into a desperate primal struggle for mere footing. It's a humbling, heart-pounding awareness of how swiftly and utterly fragile life can be when pitted against the indifferent, colossal might of a shifting planet. The crumbling path, the spitting acid, and the constant threat of geological collapse force you to retreat, scrambling backwards from the precipice. The acrid scent of corrosion still burns in your nostrils, the taste of chemical dread clinging to your tongue. You stand on the last stable ledge, looking up, not at the ceiling, but at the seemingly infinite expanse of vertical cavern above. The only way forward now an impossible ascent. The air here, thin and corrosive, seems to defy any notion of sustained flight. With a deep, resolute breath within your helmet, you engage your suit's advanced kinetic boosters. There's a sudden, powerful surge, a deep, resonant hum that vibrates through your entire frame, a sensation of immense, contained power gathering in your leg modules. You push off the crumbling ledge, and the world below drops away with startling speed. The ground-level acid pools, their green glow muted by distance, rapidly shrink beneath you, becoming mere glittering spots in the darkness. What follows is not a jump, but a dance with gravity itself. Each precise activation of your space jump modules sends another powerful surge of kinetic energy through your suit. You feel a distinct, almost giddy sensation of weightlessness as you arc upwards, then a fresh, controlled burst of propulsion, propelling you even higher, defying the pull of the planet with each successive, perfectly timed thrust. The cavern walls, once a crushing constraint, now whiz past, a blur of jagged rock and shadowy crevices. You feel the subtle shift in air density with each upward surge, a gentle resistance that then yields, allowing you to soar higher. As you ascend, the oppressive, acrid scent of the acid-filled lower levels slowly begins to dissipate, replaced by a new, invigorating freshness. It's the crisp, clean smell of untouched rock, of ancient, sterile air, circulating at immense heights, tinged with a faint, metallic cleanness, like pure oxygen after a storm. Your filtered breaths suddenly feel colder, sharper, more invigorating, a welcome cleansing after the chemical haze below. The temperature drops noticeably, a refreshing chill that permeates your suit, even through its thermal regulation, providing a stark contrast to the stifling heat and corrosive air you just endured. You spin, adjust, and launch again, a fluid, graceful ascent that carries you higher and higher, leaving the dangers of the depths far below. The immense, echoing silence of the cavern opens up around you, vast and majestic, no longer menacing but awe-inspiring. You catch glimpses of previously unseen formations, ancient geological wonders carved into the colossal walls, bathed in the faint, distant light of your ascent. This isn't just movement, it's a profound liberation, a masterful command over physics. You realize that true freedom isn't just about escaping danger, but about transcending physical limitations, finding an almost spiritual grace in defiance of the impossible. It's a testament to the fact that even when all conventional paths are closed, with enough ingenuity and the right tools, you can always find a way to rise above, transforming what once seemed an insurmountable obstacle into a breathtaking ballet of ascent. The cool, crisp air of the untouched heights is a distant memory now as you descend into a long, perfectly straight corridor, its ancient, metallic walls stretching into the gloom. The ground beneath your heavy boots is smooth, frictionless, almost inviting. A low, building hum starts to vibrate through the soles of your boots, a familiar precursor to pure velocity, a tingling anticipation spreading up your legs. You take a deep, focused breath within your helmet, then activate your speed booster. The world around you instantly blurs into a dizzying, streaking tunnel of light and color. A crushing force shoves you forward, not gently, but with an immense, relentless power that pins you against the back of your suit. It's a physical assault of pure acceleration, making your teeth clench and your jaw ache with the strain. The air, which was merely still moments ago, transforms into a solid, rushing wall, a continuous, deafening roar of wind that screams past your helmet, vibrating through your entire frame. Your visor struggles to keep up, blurring the intricate details of the corridor into indistinct, shimmering lines of energy and muted tones, giving you only fleeting, distorted glimpses of your surroundings. A continuous high-pitched whine from your suit's external thrusters screams in your ears, a sound of raw, untamed power unleashed, vibrating through your entire skeleton. Your heart pounds a frantic, exhilarating rhythm against your ribs, a drumbeat of pure adrenaline flooding your system, sharpening your senses to an almost painful degree. You are no longer running. You are a projectile, an unstoppable force, a streak of orange light tearing through the darkness. Obstacles that would normally demand careful navigation now simply shatter on impact, their fragments exploding outwards in silent, concussive bursts, leaving behind swirling clouds of pulverized debris that instantly disappear behind you. You feel the faint, fleeting heat of these impacts, a rapid brush against your plating before you are already miles beyond. The ground rushes by beneath your boots, a continuous, seamless blur, offering no purchase, no resistance, only facilitating your relentless charge. You feel a strange sense of detachment, a profound focus, where nothing else matters except the forward momentum, the unwavering push through the artificial landscape. The very taste in your filtered air changes, becoming sharp, metallic, tinged with ozone and the intense, burning scent of raw, expended energy, a primal perfume of pure speed. This isn't just movement, it's a temporary transcendence, a brief moment of absolute, unwavering control over physics. You realize that in these moments of unstoppable momentum, when the world itself becomes a blur and time seems to stretch and contract, there's a unique clarity that emerges. It's a profound understanding that sometimes, to truly overcome a barrier, you don't just go through it, you become the force that obliterates it, finding a fleeting, exhilarating invincibility in the sheer, unbridled power of your own forward will. The exhilarating blur of the speed booster fades as you finally come to a controlled halt, the massive corridor stretching silently behind you. The metallic tang of ozone and expended energy still lingers in your filtered air, a faint, sharp aftertaste of pure velocity. Your heart rate, which had pounded in frantic rhythm against your ribs, slowly begins to normalize, leaving behind a subtle, trembling exhaustion in your muscles. The silence that rushes back in is almost jarring after the scream of the wind. Then, a new sound cuts through the silence, not from the planet, but from beyond. It's a faint, high-frequency whine, barely audible at first, but rapidly increasing in intensity. Your suit's long-range comms unit, which had been dormant for what feels like an eternity, suddenly crackles to life with a burst of static, momentarily deafening you. The static clears, and then you hear it. A distant, fragmented voice, distorted by unimaginable, interstellar distances, filled with an unmistakable, raw terror. It's a cry for help, a plea, not just from an individual, but from an entire sector, a desperate, resonant echo of distress, broadcast across the vast emptiness of space. The voice is barely coherent, fragmented words cutting in and out. Federation, sector, compromised, attack, creature, uncontained, help us. Each syllable laden with a chilling desperation. You feel a sudden, internal shift, a profound sense of urgency that overtakes the lingering exhaustion. The stale, metallic taste of ozone on your tongue sharpens, becoming cold and stark, like bitter iron. Your skin prickles with a strange combination of alarm and anticipation, a full-body response to the gravity of the situation unfolding light years away. Your suit's tactical display, usually focused on environmental readings, now flickers to life with a new input. A faint, red distress signal blossoms onto the galactic map, originating from a distant, familiar star cluster, pulsing with a persistent, desperate rhythm. It's a signal you've been trained to recognize, a code for absolute, immediate intervention. The cold clarity of duty washes over you, cutting through the fatigue, sharpening your focus with an almost painful intensity. The immense weight of a new mission settles onto your shoulders, a profound sense of responsibility for lives hanging in the balance, far beyond this alien world. You stand there, listening to the fading, desperate echoes of the plea, feeling the full weight of the universe's precarious balance. The metallic tang in your mouth becomes a taste of unyielding resolve. This isn't about exploration anymore. It's about protection, about the unwavering commitment to a cause larger than yourself. In this moment, hearing a plea from across the vast, indifferent cosmos, you realize that true purpose isn't always found in solitude or self-discovery, but in the profound, unwavering call to serve, to stand as a bulwark against the forces of chaos, a constant, undeniable reminder that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, there are still those who look to you for hope, for salvation, for the unwavering fulfillment of a sacred duty. The cold clarity of duty, sharpened by the distant, desperate plea, settles deep within you, no longer just a thought, but a palpable weight in your very core. The metallic tang of unyielding resolve, which had coated your tongue, now somehow sweetens, tinged with something warmer, more profound. As you stand in the silent corridor, the distant distress signal still faintly pulsing on your HUD, a sudden, almost dreamlike vision flickers behind your visor, an unexpected flash of pure light cutting through the stark, alien gloom. You see a thriving world, vibrant and alive, bathed in the gentle warmth of a twin sun. The air is fresh, clean, carrying the scent of blooming alien flora and the distant, playful cries of children. You feel the soft, familiar texture of organic soil beneath your bare feet, not the cold metal or abrasive rock of this distant planet, but living earth, rich and supportive. Sunlight, golden and real, washes over you, its gentle heat, a profound comfort that touches your skin, a memory of absolute peace. You hear the harmonious murmur of a peaceful settlement, the quiet hum of happy lives, an entire future thriving, safe, and free from the shadows that relentlessly stalk the galaxy. This isn't a memory of your own past, but a pure, unblemished image of what could be, of what you are fighting to protect. The vision is fleeting, dissolving as quickly as it came, leaving behind the cold, metallic reality of the corridor, the faint hum of your suit, and the distant, urgent pulse of the distress signal. But it leaves an indelible mark, a searing clarity of purpose that burns brighter than any plasma shot. The lingering physical aches in your muscles, the subtle strain in your joints, which had been a constant companion, now feel insignificant, almost forgotten. The bitter tang of ozone, once a symbol of danger, transforms into the crisp, sharp taste of unwavering determination. You feel a profound, unyielding will harden within you. Your jaw clenches, a slight, almost imperceptible tension in your facial muscles under the helmet. Your shoulders straighten, your stance becoming more rooted, more solid on the cold metallic floor. The hum of your arm cannon, once merely the sound of a weapon ready, now vibrates with a deeper, more resonant purpose, an extension of your own fierce commitment. The raw, desperate fear from past battles, the creeping despair of isolation, all fade into the background, replaced by an inner fire, a certainty that this vision of a safer future, however fragile, is worth every ounce of struggle, every moment of pain. You stare down the long, shadowed corridor, no longer seeing just a path, but a direct line to that vibrant future, a future you are utterly, irrevocably determined to secure. It's in these moments, when the abstract ideal of protection becomes a visceral, internal truth, that you realize true strength isn't just about what you can destroy, but about the profound, unshakable will to preserve, to nurture, and to tirelessly fight for a tomorrow that might only exist, for now, in the quiet, burning clarity of your own mind. The vibrant vision of a safer future, so clear just moments ago, begins to recede, fading like a distant star. The cold, metallic reality of the alien corridor reasserts itself, the hum of your suit now a constant, almost monotonous drone in your ears. The initial surge of resolve, the unyielding will to protect, slowly starts to fray at the edges, worn down by the relentless march of time and the accumulating weight of countless battles. A subtle, insidious shift begins, not external, but internal. You feel a creeping dullness in your senses, a muted quality to the sharp tang of ozone, a slight blurring at the periphery of your vision, even through your advanced optics. Your muscles, which had felt invigorated, now carry a deep, pervasive ache, a profound fatigue that radiates from your very bones, making your heavy power suit feel impossibly heavy, a burden rather than a shield. Each step on the cold, metallic floor demands a conscious effort, the familiar rhythm of your gait becoming a deliberate, almost sluggish drag. Then, the whispers begin. Not external sounds, but internal ones, sharp and cold, cutting through the silence of your helmet. Doubts, insidious and persistent, start to worm their way into your thoughts. Is this endless fight truly making a difference? How many more planets, how many more lives before it's too much? Not exterrates. The cold clamor of self-questioning echoes in your mind. A relentless interrogation of your purpose, your strength, your very endurance. You recall the desperate plea, the red distress signal, and a wave of weariness washes over you, a profound sense of the universe's immense, unyielding hostility, and your own singular, increasingly fragile struggle against it. A gnawing edge of fatigue gnaws at your resolve like a slow, dull ache behind your eyes, making it harder to focus, to push aside the rising tide of internal uncertainty. You raise your arm cannon, checking its charge, and the familiar thrum, usually a comforting presence, now feels distant, almost detached, as if the weapon itself shares your growing weariness. The metallic taste in your mouth, once the taste of resolve, becomes the bitter taste of doubt, of a battle that feels endless, unwinnable. You lean against the cold, unyielding corridor wall for a moment, letting the subtle chill seep into your armor, seeking a moment of respite that doesn't come. The cold clamor of self-questioning only grows louder, a relentless internal dialogue that saps your spirit more effectively than any external threat. The profound, unyielding will to protect, which had felt so absolute, now feels fragile, tenuous, threatened by the insidious force of your own inner turmoil. In these quiet moments, stripped of external conflict, you realize that the most formidable enemy isn't always a monster or a collapsing world, but the silent, relentless war waged within your own mind, against the creeping tendrils of doubt and the profound, soul-deep exhaustion that threatens to unravel the very core of your purpose. It's a humbling, agonizing truth, a testament to the fact that even the strongest can falter, when the greatest battle is fought not with weapons, but with the quiet, persistent whispers of their own inner selves. The cold clamor of self-questioning, which had echoed so loudly in your mind, slowly begins to recede, silenced by a deeper, more primal force stirring within your very core. The gnawing edge of fatigue, threatening to overwhelm, finds itself pushed back by a sudden, intense surge of internal heat, radiating outwards from the core of your power suit, pushing against the lingering chill of doubt. The metallic taste of bitter uncertainty on your tongue sharpens, transforms, becoming the clean, unyielding taste of pure iron, an unshakable resolve. You push off the cold, metallic wall of the corridor, the faint scrape of your boots, a grounding sound in the lingering silence. Your muscles, which moments ago felt heavy with exhaustion, now tense, humming with a reawakened, almost raw power. The ache in your bones is still there, a ghost of fatigue, but it's overshadowed by a burning clarity, a focused intensity that permeates every fiber of your being. Your grip on the arm cannon tightens. The familiar thrumming of its charged energy now feels not just comforting, but an extension of your own renewed, burning will. The subtle trembling in your hands, the involuntary shake of lingering weakness, ceases, replaced by a steady, unwavering control. Your vision, which had subtly blurred with weariness, snaps back into crisp, undeniable focus. The distant red distress signal, still pulsing on your HUD, is no longer a source of dread or an overwhelming burden, but a sharp, compelling beacon, a definitive target. The whispers of doubt, so insidious and persistent, are utterly silenced by an internal roar of determination, a silent, unyielding declaration of purpose that resonates deep within your chest. It's a profound, almost visceral affirmation of your mission, your duty, your very existence. You feel the full weight of the universe's precarious balance, the immense scale of the galaxy's threats, but it no longer feels overwhelming. Instead, it fuels an inner fire, a burning core of absolute resolve that pushes back against the vastness, against the darkness, against all doubt. The cold air that had seeped into your suit, once a reminder of isolation, now feels like a sharpening tonic, clarifying your thoughts, honing your focus. You take a deep, measured breath, and the filtered air, now infused with the sharp, clean taste of iron, feels invigorating, life-affirming. You stand there, utterly transformed, facing the long, shadowed corridor not as an endless path, but as a direct route, a stepping stone to a future you are fiercely determined to secure. The subtle warmth emanating from your suit's core is not just thermal regulation. It's the burning ember of your own unbreakable will, a silent promise of perseverance. In this moment, with a renewed and unwavering spirit, you realize that true strength isn't just about the absence of fear or doubt, but about the profound, unshakable choice to push through them. to reclaim your purpose, and to carry the burning core of your determination forward, a silent, unstoppable force in a universe that constantly challenges, but can never truly defeat, an unyielding will. The burning core of your determination propels you onward, leaving the long corridors and their fleeting doubts behind. You arrive at a colossal, vertical shaft, its sheer drop disappearing into an impenetrable blackness far below. This isn't a mere passage. It's a funnel into the unknown, a final, daunting descent into the very heart of the planet's secrets. The air here is still, heavy, and strangely sterile, carrying a faint, clean scent of pure rock, but also an unsettling metallic sharpness that prickles your nostrils, a subtle hint of something immense and artificial lying dormant. You step onto the edge of the abyss, your heavy boots scraping softly against the cold, unyielding metal of the platform. The silence that greets you is profound, heavier than any you've experienced before. It's not the emptiness of a dead world, nor the muffled quiet of water. It's a deliberate, almost expectant silence, a stillness that feels charged, pregnant with impending events. Your own breath within the helmet, usually so clear, now feels muted, swallowed by the sheer scale of the void, a solitary whisper on the precipice of something vast. As you gaze into the blackness, your helmet light uselessly absorbed, a faint, rhythmic sound begins to emerge from the depths below. It's a low, powerful thrumming, vibrating up through the very bedrock, through the platform, and into your bones, a sensation more than a sound. It feels like the pulse of a colossal, dormant engine, or perhaps the beat of a monstrous, alien heart, deep within the planet's core. Intertwined with this thrum, a subtle, sharp crackle begins to tickle your senses, a high-frequency fizz of pure electrical energy, like static electricity dancing on humid air, becoming increasingly insistent. It makes the fine hairs on your arms stand on end, a phantom tingle of impending power. The air around you, initially sterile, now carries a distinct, almost acrid taste of ozone and raw, unstable energy, a sharp, metallic tang that coats your tongue, forcing a quick, involuntary swallow. Your suit's internal sensors, which had been relatively quiet, now register a dramatic spike in ambient energy readings from below, a volatile, fluctuating signature that screams of immense power being contained, barely. Every flicker on your HUD, every subtle shift in the air, feels laden with meaning, with a palpable sense of anticipation. You take a final, deep breath, feeling the burning core of your determination solidify within you. This isn't just a physical drop, it's a plunge into the inevitable, a confrontation with the ultimate truth hidden at the planet's core. The heavy silence, the electrical crackle, the metallic taste of raw energy, all conspire to create a profound sense of foreboding, yet also an exhilarating anticipation. Here, at the edge of the final descent, you realize that true courage isn't the absence of fear, but the unwavering choice to embrace the unknown, to step into the abyss, knowing that what awaits you is not just a challenge, but the culmination of everything you fought for. It's a testament to the fact that even in the face of absolute uncertainty, when the silence is deafening and the air crackles with unseen power, the human spirit, armed with unwavering resolve, will always choose to leap. You plunge into the abyss, the heavy silence and electrical crackle of anticipation giving way to a sickening freefall through an endlessly descending shaft. The air screams past your suit, a roaring torrent that vibrates through your entire frame, making your ears pop. Just as the fall threatens to become an eternal nightmare, your magnetic boots slam onto a final, impossibly dense metallic floor with a jarring impact that resonates up through your spine. The roar of your descent instantly ceases, replaced by a new, chilling reality. The air here is thick, heavy, and absolutely stagnant, carrying a strange, almost sterile metallic scent, mixed with a faint, cloying sweetness, like old blood and ozone, a truly unsettling combination. The light is dim, flickering from unseen sources, casting long, distorted shadows that writhe across the colossal, cylindrical chamber. But the overwhelming sensation is sound. A deep, rhythmic thrum, not mechanical, but biological. It's a slow, powerful, pulsating rhythm, like a colossal heart beating, vibrating through the very air, through the floor, and into every fiber of your being. It's the pulse of ultimate threat, a living, breathing hum of immense, contained power. Your helmet light cuts through the gloom, painting a narrow beam across a grotesque, organic wall directly ahead. And there, embedded within it, is the source of the terrible pulse. A colossal, pulsating brain, encased in a transparent, bubbling tank of viscous green fluid, dominates the chamber. Its surface ripples with constant, sickening contractions, each pulse sending a wave of resonant energy through the room that you feel deep in your stomach. A chilling, visceral throb. The air itself seems to shimmer, heavy with its presence. As you step forward, your boots landing softly on the metallic floor, the pulsating rhythm intensifies, becoming faster, more urgent, more aggressive. The green fluid in the tank churns, bubbles rising to the surface, bursting with soft, wet pops that are swallowed by the overwhelming thrum. Then, through the murky depths of the tank, a single, impossibly large eye opens. It's a piercing, malevolent gaze, a raw, intelligent stare that locks onto you with an unnerving, absolute focus. You feel its gaze, not just visually, but almost physically, a cold, probing presence that seems to pierce through your armor, through your very skull, searching, assessing, challenging. The piercing gaze is an immediate, direct confrontation, a silent challenge that bypasses all logic, all strategy, and goes straight for the primal core of your being. It radiates an ancient, terrible power, a cold, calculating intelligence that sees through every defense, every layer of plating. The metallic taste in your mouth, which was just resolve, becomes sharp, bitter, edged with a raw, undeniable fear. This isn't just a battle. It's a desperate, final stand against an intelligence that feels older than time, a pure, unyielding will. In this moment, under the penetrating gaze of such ancient ultimate evil, you realize that true courage isn't just about facing danger, but about confronting an intelligence that seeks to unravel your very essence, forcing you to draw upon a deeper, more profound strength, a strength born of unwavering purpose, to face the ultimate, pulsating threat to all you stand for. The piercing gaze of Mother Brain burns into your very soul, the colossal brain pulsating with a terrifying rhythm that echoes through the chamber in your chest. The air, thick with its unsettling presence and the cloying sweetness of old blood and ozone, feels heavy, suffocating. This isn't just a battle. It's the ultimate confrontation, a fight for the very future of the galaxy. With a surge of pure, unyielding resolve, you unleash your most powerful charged shot. A deafening roar of concentrated energy erupts from your arm cannon, a brilliant spear of light that slices through the stagnant air and slams into the pulsating brain with a sickening, wet impact. The transparent tank holding the creature shudders violently, cracking with loud, splintering groans, and the viscous green fluid inside churns into a furious vortex. The entire chamber vibrates violently, responding to the immense, focused damage. But the beast retaliates with unimaginable fury. A blinding flash erupts from its cyclopean eye, followed by a torrent of raw, crackling energy blasts that fill the chamber, screaming through the air towards you. You dive, roll, and twist, your power suit groaning with the rapid, violent movements, the metallic scraping of your boots on the hard floor, a fleeting sound against the roar of incoming fire. Each blast that misses you detonates against the metallic walls with the concussive boom, sending shockwaves through the very structure of the chamber, rattling your teeth and making your vision momentarily swim. You feel the intense, stinging heat of proximity blasts on your exposed plating, even through the Variasuit, a constant, burning reminder of the creature's overwhelming power. The metallic taste in your mouth, once one of resolve, now sharpens into the bitter, acrid taste of pure desperation, a raw, primal struggle for survival. The air thickens with ozone, burnt metal, and the acrid smell of superheated rock. Your suit's integrity alarms shriek relentlessly, indicators flashing critical, warning of rapidly depleting shields. You feel the impact of a glancing blow, a heavy, crushing weight slamming into your side, sending a jolt of pain through your entire frame, making you gasp for air. Your internal diagnostics flash red, your movements become sluggish, heavy, resistant against the sheer force of the barrage. The pulsating rhythm of Mother Brain's brain intensifies, becoming a frantic, triumphant drumbeat as it pushes its assault, aiming for your utter annihilation. You're pushed back, forced to retreat, each step a desperate fight for ground against the relentless onslaught. The roar of energy blasts is deafening, an overwhelming symphony of destruction. You realize that you're fighting not just for your life, but for the future of countless worlds, against an enemy that embodies pure, unadulterated evil. In these desperate moments, with the metallic taste of desperation coating your tongue, and every fiber of your being screaming in protest, you find a raw, unyielding core of will. It's a testament to the brutal truth that sometimes survival itself is the ultimate act of defiance, a desperate, unwavering refusal to fall, even when everything, absolutely everything, is pushing you to your breaking point. This isn't just an ultimate battle, it's a profound, visceral assertion of will against total annihilation. The colossal, organic form of Mother Brain is finally silent, its piercing gaze extinguished. The terrifying pulse in the chamber now a mere shuddering death rattle. The air, thick with the acrid stench of ozone and burnt biomass, slowly begins to clear. But the victory is short-lived. A new, far more immense tremor slams into the chamber, not from the defeated creature, but from the very heart of the planet itself. It's a profound tectonic roar, a deep, guttural sound that vibrates through the metal floor, up through your suit and into your bones, making your teeth clatter uncontrollably. The entire cylindrical chamber groans, a symphony of tortured metal and cracking rock. Massive fissures, black and jagged, spiderweb across the colossal walls, splitting open with deafening, tearing sounds. Dust, thick and choking, explodes from every crevice, instantly turning the air into a swirling, blinding haze that chokes your filters and coats your tongue with a bitter, gritty taste of pulverized rock. Emergency lights, long dormant, flicker on erratically in the distance, casting brief, strobing shadows that emphasize the rapid disintegration of the cavern. A massive section of the ceiling, directly above you, begins to peel away with a sickening screech of tormented steel. A colossal slab of rock, meters thick, tears free with a thunderous roar, plunging into the black abyss below. The concussive force of its impact sends a violent shockwave through the ground, throwing you off balance, your heavy boots skidding on the unstable, vibrating floor. Your suit's integrity alarms shriek, a frantic, high-pitched scream in your ears, warning of imminent structural collapse. The floor beneath you buckles, pitching violently, threatening to toss you into the growing chasms that yawn open with hungry, silent mouths. You scramble, your hydraulic joints protesting against the rapid movements, pushing off crumbling sections of wall that disintegrate under your touch, leaving behind nothing but a shower of dust and fragmented stone. The air around you is superheated, thick with the smell of molten rock and ozone as power conduits rupture, spewing sparks and brief, blinding flashes of electrical fire. Each step is a gamble, a desperate negotiation with a dying planet. You hear the constant, terrifying rumble of thousands of tons of rock collapsing, a relentless, deafening countdown to total annihilation. Your filtered breaths are shallow, rapid, tinged with the metallic bitterness of absolute desperation. You launch yourself towards a rapidly closing access tunnel, activating your speed booster, a sudden burst of momentum. The world blurs into a desperate streak of light and shadow, your suit vibrating with the sheer force of acceleration. You feel the crushing weight of debris narrowly missing your head, the searing heat of explosions on your plating, the chaotic embrace of a world tearing itself apart. This isn't just an escape, it's an urgent, primal rush for survival, a frantic dance on the edge of oblivion. In these final, desperate moments, with the planet screaming its fury around you, you realize that true victory isn't about defeating a foe, but about the relentless, unyielding will to endure, to outrun the very death of a world, to carry the fragile spark of life out of the jaws of absolute destruction. It's a testament to the primal instinct that, even when everything is collapsing, demands you push forward to simply survive.